And today we are back with another episode of Music Row Hideout. Today we're here with co-host Ryan Poole, as always, and special guest Ben McAnelly.
Close enough, that'll work.
Okay. And of course, as always, I'll throw it to Ryan for the intro. No, wait, pass, not yet. Because I still gotta tell you what the podcast is, and I forgot to do that part. This is a podcast /show /live stream /YouTube channel where we sit down with local Nashville artists and other people involved in the entertainment industry and drink and have casual conversation and learn about what's going on in their life as well as what is going on in ours and see where things take us and go as long as we need to. You'll find this on our YouTube channel at Music Row Hideout and on podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. All right, pass it to Ryan for the intro.
There are little flies flying around my mic. I'm not
That's
happy.
a terrible intro.
So,
It's very fitting for me.
and that's Ben.
Hi.
So this week is an interesting week on Music Row Hideout because, as you can see, if you're watching us, our entire background is different. And that's because we're having internet trouble in the other room. So if you're tuning in, you'll see we are an hour later than normal because we had to completely move our whole setup here. And with that, another thing that's interesting about this week is we couldn't find a musician this week.
I know exactly where this is going.
We did find a bass player. And so Ben is the bass player of Lines in the Sky, which is a prog rock band. Everybody, Devil Horns? Anyone?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Prog rock.
Tribute to Dio.
And so they are going on a summer tour, and we're going to find out all about that tonight and figure out what does a bass player have to say. Probably very
little. No one's
little.
ever asked that before.
They don't pay me to think. They just pay me to light up the end of the stage and play one note at a time.
So we're going to hear all about that. But before we jump in, maybe we should...
What are we drinking tonight?
Exactly. That's where I was going.
Tonight we are drinking Lagunitas IPA. We also have some Blackstone Nut Brown Ale, and it's beer.
Beer.
I'm a big beer fan, so I just said beer, anything but a stout, and they delivered.
we got Liz in the chat. What's going on, Liz? We got Scroticular, who I'm guessing you know
What
that
up,
is. They
Mike?
knew your name ahead of time. And also we have, weirdly enough, Lines in the Sky in the chat.
Hey!
The band itself.
Hey, band. If you've ever wanted to ask questions of that guy just standing around in the back of your practice room all the time, tonight's a great night to find out what the fuck he's doing, what he's been thinking all these years. Or not.
They don't want to know the truth.
It just reminds me of Dude, Where's My Car? Like
Dude.
the dude who lives in the closet.
Yeah.
I thought he was your friend. I thought he was your friend.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that movie in years. That's
time to
old school
rewatch.
Ashton Kutcher right there, man.
It's time to rewatch.
It is. It is very...
Does Ashton Kutcher have old school? Isn't he like 20 years old still?
No, he's like, I think in the year 40 now.
Oh.
Because think of it,
I feel old.
when he did that 70s show, he was already in his show started in the late 90s. So
Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Scroticular.
thanks, Mike. You're a
You have
beautiful
the
man.
second best name in our of all the people.
Do you think later on in the show, Floppy Dongus and what's his name?
Scroticular.
are going to show off?
Well, Floppy Dongus said he can only be here for part of the time tonight.
Okay.
Wow.
we might have already missed him.
So we might have already missed him. We don't know. We'll see if Floppy Dongus decides to show up. But we'll just go ahead and jump right into stuff. So we're
This thing, Floppy Dongus and Scroticular could be best friends. They can
or
hang out.
worst enemies. But
Nah, Mike's a great guy. I can't imagine him ticking anybody off.
we'll see.
Fair.
We'll
Fair.
see. But for some reason, this is doing some weird thing. That's fine. That doesn't mean anything about us.
Maybe we should start with a real logical question.
Sorry.
What is a bass?
So a bass is the instrument they hand to the guy who couldn't even play rhythm guitar. That's exactly what it is. It's larger, the strings are bigger, so it's harder to miss. There's more space in between, so you don't accidentally hit the wrong one. It's like moron-proof is basically what it is. And I have my degree in it, so I'm the moron of morons.
You have your degree in bass.
I know, right? What a useless degree.
How? What? Yeah, let's delve into that for a minute.
Maybe we should go all the way to the beginning. What was your birth like?
Painful. Nah,
But not for you.
I'm sure my mom was done at that point. I was the third child she'd had, and I was the fifth kid in the house altogether. So I think she was like, whatever, just get him out.
Get this thing out of me. But so you actually majored in bass.
Yeah, so my degree, which is at I got at Belmont University.
We've never heard of that place before around these parts.
Nah, it's a very tiny place.
Just want to pause for a moment and
Sure.
say that I did ask specifically, Jury, if you went to Belmont. Specifically. And he was like, no, I don't think so.
Well, I
Even
don't
though I'm
think
pretty sure we might. Did we talk about that?
I don't think. I think I said I went to Belmont, and maybe or I don't know. I can't remember if that came up. I know we talked about working in Belmont Financial Aid.
Right. 'cause
But I
that's
can't
what
remember if it ended up actually coming up if I went there or not.
I
don't know.
know.
I don't think it
feels
did,
a
actually.
natural
Probably
place.
kept it on the down low because you don't want financial aid to find you out, know your location.
Have you been paying your $200 billion in loans?
I don't even want to talk about those loans. Those things are vile.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was before my time.
Yeah, I would say you weren't even there when I was there, so you're
before
off the hook.
before you single-handedly lowered their tuition prices.
You know what I do? Hopefully no one who works at Belmont is listening. So I have kind of control over a fairly decent-sized $18 million fund.
Oh, nice.
Which I can give a certain amount to students. So the student comes in and they're like, hey, like, we're really struggling. Can we get more financial aid? I'm like, yeah, here's 10 grand. Give it to everybody.
See,
Like, they got plenty of money. Everybody take 10 grand.
I will say this, like Belmont, they gave me a decent bit of financial aid. Not, I mean, obviously everyone wants more financial aid.
Yeah,
But
everyone.
they really did like cut down the cost for me substantially.
Well, that's good.
So especially, so I actually dropped out and then I went back. And when I went back, I filed as independent. So I got a lot of financial aid.
Yeah,
I
'cause it's
still
off
had
just
to
your
take out
income
like
alone,
a
yeah.
lot, but it was nowhere near what it should have been. I mean, it was way less than half price. So it's not bad.
Yes,
That's
Liz,
cool.
if you go to Belmont, you can get 10 grand. But you want to work with animals, don't you? It's not the school for you.
But yeah, no, so I got my degree. It's the program at Belmont called Commercial Music, and my principal instrument was electric bass. So when I went in, I was kind of bouncing between doing either percussion and drums or bass, and I just felt like I had a more solid foundation, especially in terms of reading like bass clef and playing that in a more like academic setting on bass. So I went in for bass.
Very cool. And what's a bass major like? Like, how do you like the program? Is it heavily bass intensive, or is it a lot of stuff with like some bass? Do you learn a lot?
So the only thing that's really like bass specific are your bass lessons, and then like you have like your juries and your departmentals and things like that, which happen in like junior and senior year. So that happens, but besides that, it's a general music degree. And then my emphasis, because you have one of 5 emphasis.
Yep.
College education did me good. You have one of 5 to pick from, and I picked music business because that was pretty much the only way my mom was going to let me go to college for music.
Yeah.
Was if I had like some kind of business background or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, Belmont is the #1 school in America for music business.
It is.
Rolling
yeah,
Stone
and-
just published an article about them being #1 in music business.
Really?
Yeah, they emailed it to everybody. They're all excited about it.
Nice. No, but I mean, I did have a really good time there. I mean, the loans are the loans. No one likes their loans. But
$100 million in loans we process a year. $100 million.
I don't even want to say how many I have. But
About $99 million.
yeah, it feels like it. No, but yeah, it was really cool. I still keep in decently close contact, especially with my bass professor Roy. He
Okay.
still like gets me gigs, and I actually went back on campus recently to talk to current bass majors about recently graduating and trying to work in the music industry and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of work. I took too long, but it was fun.
Hey, but you're done now.
Can you play Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours?
Oh, I could play that before I went to college.
Hey, Chris Metal 28. Is that also someone you know?
What is it?
Chris Metal 28. Thanks for the bit.
Chris Metal 28.
That's what it says.
I don't know. Could be Chris Baldani, but I can't imagine he'd make something like that.
Well, thanks for the
But,
bit.
Yeah.
So the real
What's the
question
hardest
is,
song you know on bass? What extra bit did Belmont give you on bass that you wouldn't have gotten on your own? The song you could play that you wouldn't have been able to play.
I think it wasn't necessarily in terms of like technique. I mean, my technique did grow a lot at Belmont, but I think more what they teach you at Belmont is bass in an academic setting. So things like the music theory behind it and the arranging and like the history of music and things like that. That's more of what the bass education gives you. In terms of the hardest song, I know this is going to sound kind of funny, but probably Darling Dear by the Jackson 5. That's a James Jamerson bass line. It's like the crown jewel of the Standing the Shadows Motown book. And that line, it's basically a bass solo with James and Michael Jackson.
Huh.
I mean, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely insane. And it's not necessarily, I mean, it is hard technique-wise, partially because he did it all with one finger, which is nuts.
Did he only have one, or?
No, that was just his thing. He played with the hook. He played with his hand like this, and like played way up on the neck, and played like you know, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Marvin Gaye. That was Jamerson. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. That was him. Darling Dear with Jackson 5. I believe ABC was also him. So I mean, all these iconic lines were all this guy. So I probably have to say Darling Dear, because like I can do a lot of like the silly metal technique stuff, but to be honest, that stuff just starts becoming a pattern after a while. Like I love it, but it's what it is. It's speed, patterns, and tapping, because I couldn't talk to girls in high school, so that's what I did.
So I think everybody really wants to know, though.
Okay.
And you may have heard this before. You may have been asked this question before. Can you play the Seinfeld theme song?
Almost every studio session, at least when I was at Belmont, I don't hear it anymore. But yeah, the bee 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 bee, the do 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 do.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
We should have had you bring a bass just so we could Seinfeld it up.
Well, what's funny is that wasn't recorded on a bass. That was a key bass. The guy who did all the music for Seinfeld was one guy with, I think, a MIDI controller. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Wow, I feel like my whole life is a
Explains
lie.
how-
I know, right?
Explains how slappy.
Right? Because it sounds like
Imperfect
super
it is.
articulate. Bring, 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 bring. It has like all those bends and stuff. Yeah, it's a key bass.
Makes sense.
The more you know.
Yeah.
I did it the wrong way. Crap.
Can we get that as like a little GIF that happens during the podcast?
I can make that happen.
Okay, good.
Not right
That'd be
this
great.
second, but
At some point, it'll happen.
I had a bass question. Oh, how do you feel about Paul McCartney?
Legend. In terms of writing fantastic melodic bass lines that fit the song every single time, doesn't really get much better. I know a lot of guys like kind of give him crap because his bass lines were never super technical, but that's not the point of a bass line. If your bass line is technical, you're probably overplaying. So guys like him, he was great at that. Chris Novoselic, I never learned how to say his name, from Nirvana, great at writing like simple, melodic, tasty lines. You know, that was like, I think that was on a down-tuned guitar. I think maybe.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah. I
wow,
don't know.
nice try, Ryan.
But I'm not sure.
I was trying.
I know nothing
It was
about
just
that.
the
You were
first-
trying, but like
It was just the first low melodic bassy
Right.
sound that came to my head from Nirvana.
But like all of their songs, like all their parts were singable, and that's it. Like I love Nirvana, and I've
Yeah.
recently gotten like even more into them with the bar band I just started. But like I mean, his work was really incredible. Let's see, who was another one who was great at that? There's someone, I'm blanking on the name right now. I'm such a bad bassist. But yeah, like those melodic lines, Paul just knocked right out of the park. And plus, the Beatles wrote, I think, probably the most beautiful pop song ever in Yesterday. And that was predominantly Paul. So he could have just done that, and I would have absolutely loved his work. But yeah.
So how'd you actually get started?
Started in
bass.
music or bass?
Well, both.
Okay. So my dad actually was a touring musician before I was born. And he went up and down the East Coast, basically. I think more like Central East Coast, but doing country impressions. And the weird thing about my dad's family is that there always seems to be one person every generation that plays music and plays it like as a career, and then no one else in the family plays. Like
That's
they might play
a really
little
weird
bit.
trend.
I know, right? Super bizarre.
Sounds like a curse.
Almost, right? It's awesome.
Scroticular would like you to play the Despacito bass solo.
I want Scroticular to eat my ass. But
You say Despacito?
Yeah.
that's,
You know.
that is also the funniest man I know, hands down.
Scroticular?
Scroticular is the funniest guy I've ever met, hands down.
I just hope Floppy Dongus comes on
Like,
and
what
is
the
jealous.
fuck?
Who's stepping on my turf?
We're all in here like, yeah, Scroticular! Doesn't that sound like something to be on an old TV show? Like that'd be an episode.
It'd be like some garbage MTV show. Okay.
But
Yeah, do it, Liz. She's gonna go. She's gonna message Floppy for me.
Floppy Dongus learns a lesson in humility.
Liz is my other moderator.
gotcha.
My,
Yeah,
my first moderator and best.
there you go. Nice cover. Nice recovery. But so because of that, I had 4 brothers and sisters growing up, and my mom knew that one of them was going to play music. It ended up being the last one. So they got us all started piano when we were 4, roughly, and I was the one who stuck with that. I sang in church before that a little bit, I think, or right around that time. Then I picked up drums at 7 because I saw the guy playing in church, and I thought that was really cool. My dad got me like like a super cheap Pearl export set off of a yard sale that I had up until 2 years ago. And then I started guitar and bass when I was 10. And yeah, I think that's the lessons. I mean, I picked up other little instruments along the way. Like most string instruments, like I can make work if need be.
You can make sound. That sounds okay.
Like, yeah, it's not great, but like I can make a string instrument work. Unless it's bowed, then unless it's a bass or a cello, I'm out.
What about a violin though?
So I taught myself how to play like a couple little scales when I was working in music retail. I worked in the brass and winds and orchestra section, but like I can't like sit down and play like something really beautiful, and it tended to be a very scratchy scale because it's just so tiny, and I'm used to much larger instruments, so it was a lot.
Can you play anything that's not fretted?
Yeah. So my at Belmont, you have to do 2 years of classical, which is 2 years on the upright. So I play that. I'm actually trying to sell mine, so if y'all know anyone, because I don't ever get any gigs on it, I'm trying to sell it and buy a key bass.
Really? I would think upright bass would be like people want that around here, don't they?
Well, people ask me for gigs, and then they're like, "Yeah, we'll pay you $50," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. A, I'm not going to go on stage for $50. B, I'm not going to lug my upright bass for $50. Like, no.
You have to like rent a U-Haul to get it down there.
Yeah, like I have a Chevy HHR, so it'll fit, but like the headstock is playing like right here and covering my window, so I'm like, no. I'm not even going to leave the house for $50. You're out your mind.
When you say key bass, what do you mean?
I just went on tour with a really fun group, and I played like a little fatty, so a Moog synth. I don't know how to say it. Some synthesizer head is going to kill me now. But yeah, so I played one of those and just like dropped the octave real low and played like key bass lines, like monophonic little things. It was a lot of fun. It's like the funkiest thing on the planet. I had so much fun. I was like, I don't even want to play bass anymore. I just want to play this.
So is that what you want as a little fatty?
I'd like to get the sub fatty, and my buddy Nick Bird actually runs an Instagram page and just posted the other day, like a buy and sell page, and just posted up sub fatty for like $600. I'm like, oh man. So I'm trying to move that up right quick so I can go get that.
Oh man.
But yeah. So
that's cool.
So you're about to go on tour.
I am, yes.
With a band called Lines in the Sky.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about said band, Lines in the Sky?
Yeah, happily. So
and afterwards we'll listen to one of the songs so y'all know.
Yeah. Is there a symbol for Lines in the Sky, by the way?
Like kind of. We have like this logo that has like a bunch of geometric and mathematical like patterned lines behind it.
Is it in the sky?
I mean, it's behind the logo, so yeah, it can be on the sky if you hold it up. But yeah, so that band is actually, the core of that band is two brothers, Jesse and Bowman Brock. And they've been playing music together since they were, kids. And it initially started when Jesse, I want to say was maybe a junior in high school or something like that, with their buddy Zach Wakefield, who's still a very close friend of the band, a very close friend of mine, and an amazing player. They started for years, and then he left to pursue other things, and they got another bassist named Max Ingersoll. I don't know him as well. I know Jesse knows him pretty well. They played for about a year, but they ended up like not. I don't know actually 100% what happened. I don't want to speculate.
Sure. We can speculate.
He ended up leaving.
Shoot, they're watching. They could just say.
They could say, yeah. If you guys want to say what happened, I don't know the full story. But then they asked me to fill in for a show at Exit In, and then they asked me to join shortly afterwards, and that was a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So yeah, it started out as, Bo and Jesse and Zach are all metalheads and massive like Coheed and Cambria and Mars Volta fans.
We love some Coheed and Cambria right around here.
Coheed is...
When we listened to Lines in the Sky, I was like, they seem Coheed.
Yeah, I definitely hear some Coheed going on in here.
Yeah, so Coheed is definitely, of mine, Jesse and Bo, like...
What's the singer's name?
Jesse. His name is
He's
Jesse.
not as high as, what's his name?
He doesn't like stay as high as Claudio does. He can hit those high notes.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. But he doesn't like stay up there because we don't want to thrash his voice.
Yeah, Claudio, I think he had to have like...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dude, that used to be our jam, The Suffering. Every time we
that was
saw
good.
an adventure, we'd listen to The Suffering.
So we also kind of have another band called A Notion of Silence. That's our buddy Austin writes all the music for it for the most part. And we were just on tour, and on the way back from one of our shows in Ohio back to Pittsburgh, we played the entirety of Good Apollo 1 Burning Star 4, top to bottom. And me and Bo were in the back singing all like the
Good Apollo Burning Star 4...
From Peer Through the Eyes of Madness.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'll clarify. You gotta clarify.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's the better one, in my opinion.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played that album all the way top to bottom, and me and Bo were in the back like singing all the goofy high falsetto parts, and oh, it was so much
Just
fun.
doing your best.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Metal wants to know: Do you like Tom Araya? Araya?
Oh, Tom Araya.
I don't know who that is.
He's the frontman of Slayer.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm not like a big Slayer fan. I have tons of respect for them because I mean they were the heaviest, most brutal, gnarliest thing at the time.
I mean, their name was Slayer. How could you not
Right?
be?
Yeah, and I do like their kind of like anti-social, anti-hair metal thing that they did. Because at the time there, I think they were in like L.A. and everyone was the whole glam rock hair metal thing, and they were like, "Nah, we're gonna be grungy. We're gonna look like guys you don't want to see in a back alley and play vicious music." So I kind of like that. I was like, "Cool, go against the grain. I'm all about that." But in terms of like the actual music, I mean, I used to kind of know how to play Raining Blood. But I don't really know a whole lot of like Slayer tunes off the top of my head. It's been more of a respect, but not something I jam thing.
Gotcha. Now, have you actually gone and seen Coheed play?
Yes, twice.
Twice.
My freshman year at Belmont, and then just last year when they were doing Good Apollo top to bottom, the whole record, and I cried at 3 different occasions, unashamedly, no shame. But yeah, no, that was, and me, Jesse, and Bo all went with some other friends of ours. I think Zach was there. We took our buddy Nick Mills, who's actually in the van with them right now. Yeah, that was a really incredible show. Besides the one drunk chick who kept trying to touch my beard, because at the time my beard was about down to here-ish.
Why'd you ever cut it?
I kind of got bored with a long beard, and plus I started dating my girlfriend right
She didn't
now.
like it.
Well, I mean, I told her from the beginning. I was like, because I know it's a crazy look. I was like, hey, if you want me to trim this, like, you're more than welcome. And she goes, oh, you sure? I said, yeah. And she was like, please. I was like, sure, I don't care. I like you more than the beard, anyways. So, besides, if I wanted to, I could grow it back. But I kind of like the more cleaned up look right now.
I went and saw. So I saw Coheed. I've also seen Coheed twice. The first time I saw them open for, oh shoot, what's that band? Like the crazy band with the masks.
Slipknot?
Hollywood
Slipknot.
Undead.
I saw them open for
back in the
Slipknot
day.
in San
I have
Diego.
a funny story about Hollywood Undead.
And then I saw them when they were doing the Year of the Black Rainbow.
Oh, okay.
They sold
Gotcha.
I had like the black card Coheed pass to let me like get into like the concert and watch like Claudio do like an acoustic set like 30 minutes early. It was
nice.
amazing. Yeah, it's like a little debit card. Just
Gotcha.
like off merch. I never bought any other merch.
Would you mind? Actually, never mind. I'm still good.
And then, after Year of the Black Rainbow, I felt like it was kind of the start of it getting a little bit not my favorite, not like it was.
Yeah, Year of the Black Rainbow is definitely.
I
and
love
this
some
is
songs
funny.
on there.
Juggernaut is like a really
Juggernaut's
cool
good.
tune. Running Free is a pretty cool tune.
I don't remember that one as easy.
I'm pretty
As
sure
well.
Running Free was on Year of the Black Rainbow. I hope I'm not embarrassing myself in front of my band right now.
There was another one I loved. What was it?
See, those are the only
Come
two.
on and give me the gun. I don't remember what that song. It was like my ringtone.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't remember now.
See, that record fell the most flat for me. I mean, it's still Coheed, so at the end of the day, like it's still like a decent album, but it's
No Second Stage Turbine Blade though. You know what I mean?
Second Stage Turbine Blade is awesome, and then In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth.
3.
Yeah, 3. Absolutely. I like you.
Dude, I love some Coheed.
Dude, every time the title track starts live, I like feel it deep in my chest.
Everybody's like fucking freaks out.
Oh, dude.
And they play it for like 15 minutes.
It's so good.
Yeah,
The first time I saw them, because they never came to my hometown, really. And if they did, I must have missed it because I had to work. But yeah, when they came to town and they played that, since it was my first time ever seeing them play it live, I like full tears.
Yeah. Oh,
Like just
God,
down. Oh my god! And then everyone's screaming, "Man, your battle station!"
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh man, the whole crowd, all these greasy, long-haired, ponytail, balding men were like screaming this song. It was so awesome.
But-
I was such a fan.
Speaking of prog rock, to kind of bring it back, we can rabbit trail on Coheed all day.
Oh yeah, I love Coheed. Michael Todd was a very early influence
Really?
on me in terms of like rock bass playing.
Okay.
For sure, because it was so like in the forefront of the music, and he drove so many parts with these
It
really
was
creative
aggressive.
lines. Very aggressive. I also was really interested in Spectre basses for a while. Still am.
Okay.
My buddy Derek DePrano in town, who's also a bassist, actually is an artist of theirs, and I'm like, maybe I can talk to him. I don't know, but I'm also like a pretty diehard Fender guy. But that's
Okay.
I'm veering back off of.
Yeah. Now, that's fine. We veer all over the freaking
Yeah,
map. You don't
yeah.
need to worry about
It happens.
the so you mainly a Fender bass player. What do you normally play?
So
Bass, jazz bass?
my two basses that I have right now, I have a Fender Mexican Deluxe J5,
Okay.
which I really enjoy. I think it's kind of interesting. I think there's a problem with the preamp, but I like it.
Okay.
Where it has like an obscene amount of high end. My strings can be dead with the treble knocked back, and it'll still be like
Really?
trebly. It's crazy. They have so much just brightness in that bass, and I don't really want to change it because I can EQ it out. Like I can do other
Sure,
stuff.
but you
and take
like
care of it.
you want that flavor.
Yeah, especially like with line stuff where I'm doing kind of Michael Todd styled, like influenced
Yeah.
lines. I need it to be kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
And the way that we set our EQ up is Jesse, since we're a 3-piece, like we have to be very careful with not making something too big because we want to fill up the sound, but then we can't step on each other's toes. So like I have it not super scooped, but just enough to where the guitar, like you have bass and then the guitar sits right here, and then we both, like his high end is like a little higher than mine. So the EQing is like very careful between the two of us.
Okay.
And then we have like the synths and stuff because I play synth in that band as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
And you said that's your main bass.
That's my main. That her name's Gertrude,
Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Nice name.
and then I have a Fender Reggie Hamilton PJ. That's probably my favorite bass I've ever owned. It's the best sounding bass I've ever played, but I'm scared of taking it on the road.
I've always thought PJs. Is that not just the best of both worlds? Like, I mean, I don't know that much about bass. The only bass I own, I had a P bass that I sold, and I have a bass 6.
Oh, dude, those are so much fun.
Which I bought because it's just amazing. I just
Yeah.
bought Squire came out with one, it's like $300 bucks. It's like done, got it.
Yeah.
But I've always thought like, why wouldn't you just get a PJ?
Because there
Which
are.
people don't know is P bass, jazz bass, pickup.
Yeah.
Those of you who don't know don't care. Those of you who know what I'm talking about.
If they're fans of our band, they're probably musicians, so they know.
Fair enough.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds, but you do lose because like a P bass pickup is inherently like beefier, but not as bright
Okay.
as a J pickup. So if you want that like J sound, you're not really going to get it out of a P bass pickup, out of a PJ. You get pretty close because like a lot of that treble comes from the J pickup in the bridge.
Justin cares.
Hell
He's a
yeah,
buddy
Justin.
of mine. He's the one who got me
Nice.
into Coheed. You just missed like the 15-minute
good
Coheed
man.
conversation we just had, Justin.
Justin? That Justin.
Yeah, Justin Erholtz.
What up, Justin?
Nice. But and so and with having that J pickup in the bridge, people have said this, but I'm not 100% sure if I buy it. That since the magnet is there and it is always pulling on the strings, it does slightly change how the string reacts with the P bass pickup. To my ear,
Slightly, it's like, or
Yeah.
you're lying. Like you
it's one of those things. Like I always think it could be lying, but then I talk with guys like my singer Jesse, who has an insane ear, or my buddy Chris. And they're both engineers, and so their ears are way more finely tuned than mine. And
Sure, you only hear certain frequencies, the real low ones.
well, but like sometimes they'll say things, oh, like there's a slight difference here, and they'll tweak something, and I hear no difference, and they're like, yeah, that's
Dredge
the
for
one. And
life.
I'm like, okay, so I just trust them. So I guess maybe there could be a difference, but whenever I sell out the P bass pickup, it sounds like a P bass to me. So
Do you listen to Dredge?
Dredge, familiar with the name, not familiar with the music.
I know Justin really loves. He said Dredge for life,
Gotcha.
and then Lines in the Sky.
Oh,
Said
what
yes. So
those guys are nerds. Also, if you guys could do me a huge favor, right, Nick? Right quick.
Yes.
Could you say Nick Mills is whack? For me,
Nick
please?
Mills is whack.
Nick Mills
You
is
heard
whack.
that? Is that Scrotalicious or whatever?
No, that's so. My band is
That's
on.
Mike.
Delicious.
No, yeah, Mike is
Okay.
particular, but my
Particular.
band is on the road with An Ocean of Silence right now.
Okay.
And Nick is filling in for me, and I've been internet bullying him.
Just so you could be here?
yes,
bro.
but so I've been internet bullying Nick and commenting on everything he posts on Facebook and Instagram. Whack.
That's important. You gotta make sure he knows he doesn't have a long-term place in the band.
Yeah, he is the first call. Like, I could.
Last guy said, Nick is so mad.
Yes.
Scroticular says, whack.
I've got good friends. But yeah, no, he actually is like the
So
call. If I
why
can't
is
make a line
Nick
to-
trying to steal your gig?
He's not at all. No, he's a very close friend of mine and a very close friend of the band's. He's also in a really great prog band that Jesse sings for called Edge of Reality. And like we are prog, but they are prog. Those guys are like never in 4/4. Their keys are always changing, and it's really interesting music.
Just wild.
It's just nuts, man. It's really cool stuff. Joey Frivola and Jesse Peck are the guys who kind of started that band. And I was actually like, I think you could call it tech death band with Joey for like a day in college. That was a whole weird thing. But yeah, so no, Nick is just a really great player. And when I can't make, especially a Lines or a Notion gig, he's my first call.
Okay.
Because he's a great dude. He is a great player. He has a beautiful bongo 5. So it's good.
You're confident he can step in and handle himself.
Oh, yeah.
Not as good as you, obviously.
I don't know,
Because he's
man.
whack. But
He is whack. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes, Nick is trash. He is whack. He is subpar human.
everybody agrees.
I love you, Nick.
Well, so we had some technical difficulties when we started, so we didn't get a chance to test how well videos are going to look on the stream.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about them. How about y'all? Humans. Why don't we listen to a song? We're going to try to watch one of the videos. Tell me if the frame rate's good. If not, make some little adjustments.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. So we've got, this guy says Nick is crying.
Good. I want him to cry.
So we've got, which video do you want to start with?
Let's just go ahead and it looks like I have the teeth video pulled up. So
Teeth?
that's
I've got
totally fine.
both. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, tell us about what this deal is about.
So Teeth is actually the first song that I ever wrote with Jesse and Bo. They came in and Jesse kind of had the idea, and we came in and tweaked it and added arrangement stuff and changed parts and added parts and da-da-da-da. So it was the first ever song I completed with the band. It was also the lead-off single of our record, Beacon, that came out this past January. It's a very aggressive song for Lines. It's basically about arguing with someone and like the anger that comes up behind it. Sort of that's kind of a paraphrase way to go about it. I don't want to. You can listen to the lyrics and get your own meaning out of it. That's what I'm supposed to say as an artist, right?
Absolutely.
Read your own stuff.
That's the rule.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's pretty aggro song at points, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. So I'm going to play it. Let me check for technical difficulty. So if I have to pause it, fix something real quick.
Also,
forgive us.
Scroticular is the one who
Yes.
made this streaming bid for it. He's the one who rendered this whole thing, because it's actually a moving backdrop on this video.
Okay.
And he created the whole thing for us.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. All right, so I'm going to bring that up. Hopefully, if I do that. Okay, yeah, it works. Yes, okay. All right, guys, we're going to play this video, and we will see you guys back here in just a moment. I don't have an easy switcher.
Oh.
Thank you for letting me know. I was just checking on my phone as well. The audio wasn't working. They just saw this screenshot.
Oh, gotcha.
That's an important one.
But that was what this was about, was for you to see the screenshot.
Yeah, we just wanted to show you the
Yeah.
screenshot. Tricked ya. All right. I can make things work. I'm going to hide that for a second so we can continue to talk. They can hear us again.
Okay.
I'll try to make that work.
That was an amazing screenshot. And could you tell us more about that?
So, all jokes aside, Mike is the one who actually, Scroticular is the one who created that. He's a...
No real names. No real names here.
Oh, yeah. He's this just amazingly hardworking and talented videographer here in Nashville. I met him through his older brother, Trevor, who was one of my residents in college, and still also...
Because you were an
very
RA,
close friend.
right? I think you mentioned.
Yeah. I was an RA. But I was an RA in the
shit.
apartments. Which
There's an RA here.
I know. Goddamn narcs.
I don't. Statute of limitations is still out on something, so I'm not going to comment too much on my time as an RA. But I was chill.
Okay, I think I might have it good now. I think. We're going to find out in just one. Before I start it again, I'm going to check it.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep. That's actually way loud, though. I should probably turn that down a little bit. You probably guys just got blasted in the ears by like 1 second of sound.
Luckily, the intro's quiet.
All right.
Oh, but it was like 30 seconds in already?
Never mind. It's very loud.
It probably just exploded your ears.
And now, lines in the sky.
I can see the outcome before you play your hand. Reading you is simple. It's not hard to understand. We have picked our targets. Who will hit the hardest? We've chosen sides, and I know that you're fighting exposed, pretending to understand hand to hand. You're speaking nonsense, stemming from the seeds of emotion. With every word you go, there is no outcome, there is nothing to be rewarded. A game from contempt to civility. Not bad enough, and I feel you coming closer. With words so threatening. What's left to say? You're a vacancy I will not cater to. And I feel my patient capacity crumble because of you. I see your face, my foe approaching. Lick your lips, your grin encroaching. I only want to see your teeth if they are broken. I only want to see your teeth if they're broken.
I think so.
All right, and we're back. Got the video paused, got the thing up to the side. Technical difficulties are solved.
That was lines in the sky.
That was Lines in the Sky, but in a less creepy way.
That was Lines in the Sky.
That's more creepy. I don't know why.
What kind of,
That's so much
band do
worse.
you want to be?
Going through a gamut of emotions here.
I'm Batman, and that was Lines in the Sky.
Darkness. No parents.
So, wait, right, video catch up. Okay, perfect. So you guys, Lines in the Sky, are going on tour starting like soon, like real soon.
Starting next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. So less than a week.
Yep.
Justin says he likes it, and he would say if he didn't.
Hey, I
And I believe
appreciate
him,
it.
he would.
I appreciate it, man. I really do.
And he's got good taste in music.
Well, thank you.
All the prog side of my life, he probably introduced me to, for the most part.
Gotcha.
All
Nice.
the pop side of my life, Ryan probably introduced me to.
Nice. Yeah.
Got my hands up, playing my song.
So you guys are going on tour starting next Wednesday.
Yes.
How long guys be gone? Where you going?
We're gonna be gone till the 18th of August.
Okay,
So
not of July. That'd be a real short
yeah,
tour.
I'm sorry, 13th of August. So nearly a month. And we're hitting pretty much. I think it's North Carolina up to New York. I think someplace in Ohio. We had a Toronto date, but it actually recently fell through, which is kind of a bummer. It would have been my first
fine.
international gig since high school. But high school
Since
doesn't
high
count.
school.
That
As they say.
well, high school was marching band on a cruise ship, so that doesn't count.
That's cool though.
What kind of cruise?
It's kinda fun.
Where'd it go?
Down to the Bahamas.
That's cool.
In the same week, it was spring break of senior year. I went on
Are you going to
cruise.
Memphis?
No,
Justin wants to know. He
not
was
on
in
this tour. I
Memphis.
wish.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? Let me double check because I don't have my schedule memorized because I'm a
Well,
bad
Lines in
band
the
member.
Sky official Twitch account says unfortunately no.
Okay, they're on it way faster than me. Cool.
But this is your second summer tour, right? Did you do another
Of
one?
this summer,
Of
yes.
this summer,
we
yeah.
we did roughly a I think it was 10 or 12 day tour earlier this summer.
Okay, wow.
So this is the second.
So you guys are all over the map.
Yeah, we're just trying to do as much as we can. And between this and my other tours, my longest time home is 15 days in a row this summer.
Wow. Which
So, yeah.
makes sense. So for some background,
Oh,
I found Ben
yeah.
because I was I don't currently have a functioning car because fuck my life, and so I catch a Lyft home every once in a while. And he was driving Lyft, and I asked him like, "Brr, is this your full-time gig?" And he was like, "No, I'm a full-time musician, you asshole."
No,
Just like that.
I didn't say that. I called you prick, not asshole.
Very subtle, but
Yeah, but
important.
that's actually meant him. He actually, and I was like, well, we do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun conversation. I enjoyed it.
Justin said he'd probably only go and just start a riot, so it's probably good you aren't coming to Memphis. And a Memphis
man.
riot's probably a whole nother level.
Man, I went to Memphis on a gig later last summer. Y'all party down in Memphis. They do not play.
Now, he's
man.
from San Diego. That's where I met him.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
He moved there.
So we'd love to hear Justin's perspective on the Memphis party scene. I'll say this. I went to Memphis because our old band that we were in together was,
Band.
there were instruments, we played music.
No, we played a lot. We were a band. We weren't
Nice.
we weren't a good band.
So anyway, the band had made a music video, and they submitted the music video to a bunch of film festivals, and one of the ones that we won in or were in the finalists of or whatever was the Memphis Film Festival. So at the time, I was living here. They were all in San Diego. So I went out to the Memphis Festival, whatever it was, to watch a music video premiere. And afterwards, me and my buddy went downtown to Beale Street and went out to some of the bars down there. And holy shit, it was scary.
Dude, they
Like,
threw it down.
It
man.
was scary. We were in this club, and we're just like, it's and like, and then all of a sudden, there's like, and then fucking smoke started coming out of every corner of the room, blowing down with these sirens and loud ass hip hop. And just like, everyone's like losing their minds and just grinding like they were
stabbed.
Yeah, what it reminded me of was that scene from The Matrix 3 where you see Zion and everybody's like having these crazy
I know what you're talking
sex dances because it's the end of the world.
Oh, okay.
It
I
was like
never saw the
that
Matrix
at
movies,
this
but-
club, and I was just like,
Nice.
I couldn't participate or have any fun. I was just scared. Scared out of my mind.
You know what's a little disappointing though about Memphis? or also great for Memphis, is which is a weird thing to say in the same sentence. But I was talking today about. I was talking as a guy I talked to work about with a lot of stuff. He's a cool dude, and we were talking about gun control. We're not going to get into that right now because that can be on a whole fucking rabbit trail. Yeah. But I mentioned to him that it's weird. Like Memphis has one of. He was saying, high gun control places have higher gun control. I was saying you're right, but that's correlation, not causation necessarily, because Memphis is like the #1 murder capital of the world or of America and has been for years, which I heard.
Richmond beat it for a little bit, my hometown.
Yeah, that's another one. Richmond,
Well done.
Baltimore's all been up there, Detroit, but I've heard that Memphis was just like #1 for like the last like 70, like a lot. Like it's been up there so often, and he was like,
Justin.
and he was like, nah, that's not true, and I was like, Google it. So confident, it's currently like number 20. I was like, oh,
Really?
yeah. I was like, so I'm like, good for Memphis, but also like, dude, way to let me down, Memphis. Like I expected more.
They're
more
also
murder.
one of the top cities for prostitution, I believe.
Good for you, Memphis.
I believe.
So they traded their murder for prostitutes?
I guess.
It's a good trade.
It's better than murder.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Justin says if Memphis and Nashville got in a fight, we'd end up curb stomping you.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
he's got a
100%
fair point.
accurate.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we'd write a great song about it.
When it'd be like an indie, like acoustics.
Y'all could write a great song. I'd go home.
That's
Go home to the middle of the woods house my parents has.
middle of
Parents
the
have-
woods.
Yeah, there's a long story. behind
Virginia?
all that. Yeah. So
Did you grow up a woods person?
Did you grow up on a tobacco farm?
near a lot, yes, but not on a tobacco farm. So the first house I grew up in,
It got weird while you were gone, Liz.
the first house I grew up in was in an interesting little area, tiny little like generally lowish income suburb-ish kind of area. And then we moved out of there and moved out to the woods where we had a nearly mile-long driveway surrounded, and with 2 other families that lived on the property, we shared 40 acres worth of woods.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's where I'd be. I'd be away from here. I don't want to die.
Okay, let me ask you. Mile-long driveway. That sounds so tedious. Every time you want to go somewhere, you have to drive a full mile before you're even off your property.
The amount of freedom and lack of noise is so worth it. If I could, I'd do it again. I could go back there. I would have band practices with my buds until 11 o'clock at night. No one cared. We could go out. We didn't have to go to a gun range to shoot or anything. We just went off into our backwoods.
You can just shoot
We
the
had-
locals.
Pretty much, yeah. Hunt them down. No, we had dogs, and we never had to really until like later on. We ended up getting like an electric fence, but for a long time, we never had to worry about the dogs. They'd go out, operate like a pack, bring down a small deer, and bring the remains back. Like
That's crazy.
it was awesome.
You said
Yeah.
the dogs would hunt down a deer?
Like little ones, not obviously like full size bucks or anything, because a buck would crush.
Oh,
a
just the
dog.
babies.
Just as much.
The children.
Hey, they took out Bambi and brought her head back.
It's like a reverse Bambi because the
very-
mom's like, "Where's my kid?"
No, the craziest was
A really animal sensitive person would have a hard time knowing where to place this. Like a cute dog kills a cute deer. How am I supposed to feel? I don't
we
know.
weren't going on doing it. The dogs were just population control, man. No, and the craziest was at the height of like the size and like youth of some of the dogs we had. My brother one night at like 3 a.m. went and woke up my mom and said, "Hey, Mom, there's something big and dead in the sewing room." And she was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "Yeah, something big and dead." We still don't know what it was. She went in there and there was this large black furry mass just dead in my mom's sewing
bear?
room. No, I'm not like that big. I mean,
Okay.
we're talking. Those of you in the video can see like that big, like the size of a dog.
Small deer, big coon.
I don't know, but it was jet black from what my mom said. I was in college when this happened.
Giant
But yeah,
skunk.
so she went and she got a snow shovel and just picked it up, put it in the burn barrel, and just burned it. Like we didn't know
Wait,
what else to do
hold on.
with
Put it in the what?
burn barrel.
The burn barrel.
I know,
TM.
right? We're starting to sound like way podunk, aren't we?
I
No,
love
that's-
The burn barrel
that.
went down the creek and
I
got
love
fried
that.
eggs. Had a
That
good
just
night.
makes it sound like it's a thing.
Yeah, no, isn't it a thing?
The
or
burn
just-
barrel, like as if I had said toilet. Like we would all know. No one needs to explain what a toilet is. I'll throw
But
a
you
burn
do
barrel in the
just do
barrel.
a burn barrel.
So where we lived, partially because of how far we were away from everything, you know, we we didn't have like dumpsters and stuff. We had to take care of our own trash, and so we would separate out like cans and plastics, and paper and plastics would get thrown away or taken to like recycling or whatever. Cans we would take. There was this big junkyard, but you could take and sell aluminum back, and they would actually give you cash for it. So we'd save off like our soda cans and stuff, not beer because my parents don't drink.
Sure. California, that's everywhere because they
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll even say on most cans, it'll say like California refund, 5 cents
nice.
or whatever.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't a refund. This was like you took it to a place and they straight up bought it off of you, and they
this place
smelted
you pay a
it
tax
down.
and get that money back when you go turn it in.
Gotcha. Yeah, see that's not
some
what this
bullshit,
is. This
is
is a
what it
full
is.
blown sale. Yeah.
Okay, that's way better.
And we would take like sometimes we'd have like old water heaters and stuff. They would take the copper to these places and they'd pay us for it. But that and then all the paper trash to try and save like trips to the dump because we had to take it all ourselves. We would
Because you're so far out there.
we would just burn the paper trash.
That sounds like a nightmare.
I mean, once again, not really. It's all I knew until like I never had a dumpster or I didn't have to take care of my own trash until I went to college. I didn't have a lot of things until I went to college, like normal experiences. But yeah, so it was just a way to minimize trips because my mom ran a daycare, does still run a daycare through our house. And so we generated a lot of paper trash because kids would get like little paper cups to drink and stuff like that. Just to save it, we'd burn it. Eventually, we installed a water fountain outside, so that took care of a lot of the cups and stuff. But we still had like plates for eating them, and my mom would run out of like the regular washable plastic ones. We used paper ones and just burn them.
I never even thought that would be a thing.
Yeah, we had that. We had a septic tank. My brother built like an apartment off that had like an automatic water heater, and yeah, it was all sorts of stuff. It was a lot of fun.
That automatic water heater, do you mean he just put the burn barrel underneath the bucket of water?
No, so you know how most of the time you have like a water heater tank, a reservoir. This one was like an electric one that heated up immediately as you needed it.
Oh, yeah,
so you didn't
yeah.
have a
I've heard those
reservoir.
are amazing, actually. I've heard those are like ridiculous.
He loved it. He just moved out. He and his wife and his 2 kids just got their own spot. But yeah.
But ours in San Diego got that installed. I was really impressed.
Dude, they're awesome. My brother just did himself because he's a contractor and he's brilliant. So he built the whole place himself.
That's crazy.
Decked it out.
That's insane.
Like, yeah, he's a champ, man. I can't tell him that I have respect for him. So Jared, I don't have respect for you,
Also whack.
but I have respect for. Yeah. No, I have a lot of respect for Jared. He's in the military. He's like running his own business. He's got 2 beautiful boys. Like he's crushing. And his wife is beautiful. I've known her for like 10 years. He's the man.
All right, he's the man.
Yeah.
I guess that's
But
what we'll say.
fuck Nick.
You guys whack.
But yeah, so that's how we had the burn barrel. That's how that all started.
I don't even remember what questions started.
Yeah, where are we?
I don't know.
This is Music Row Hideout, the music selling, buying, trading.
fixing, modding, reviewing podcast.
Yeah. We were talking about murder capitals, and then we talked about Richmond, and somehow
How do we get a murder cat? No, we don't need to trace
we
it.
talked about
Yeah.
Memphis. Like,
We
am
don't
I
need-
going
we
to
don't need
Memphis?
to practice
That's how it
things.
started. We were talking about, am I going to Memphis on tour? Then we started talking about Memphis murder
Damn it,
capital.
Justin.
And then we started
Justin,
talking
you
about
ruined
Richmond.
everything.
So we're all the way back to tour. So yes, I'm going on tour.
Okay, what for the norms out there?
The normies.
The normies who don't know about that tour life though.
Yeah.
Tell us about that tour life though.
I mean, tour life is it's everything.
Glamorous as hell.
Yeah, let's lie to these people. It is fantastic. You walk around, women throw themselves at you, obviously. No.
Damn.
I promise, Kayla, no one's throwing themselves at me. No, it's really, it's so much work, but it is really worth it at the end. Especially with a project like Lines where we're basically building a business. So there's a lot of accounting, there's a lot of like money management, there's a lot of things like that. You check and make sure how can we stay as cheap as possible? How can we eat as cheap as possible without eating trash? How can we like get there and like just make as much as we possibly can out of these little shows?
Because you're trying to make money, not spend money.
Right. Which we did really well on the last tour, and I think we've got a pretty good science down. And we only have to pay 3 guys. We don't have to pay us. That's it. So it's really easy for us to get out and go for a while.
Wait, there's only 3 of you in the band?
Only 3. We're a 3-piece.
Wow.
We're only a 3-piece on the road. We don't have any roadies. We don't have any merch people. I am the merch guy. So like,
So when the show's over, you run over there real quick.
Yep.
Or do you stop in the middle of the show and go out there? Because no one's going to notice.
no, nobody's gonna notice the bass is gone.
Like-
All of a sudden, all the low end is
It's going to
gone.
sound a little weird, but they're not going to be sure why.
Band sounds less deep than normal.
Yeah. No, but we'll I have a little guitar stand that I take, and as soon as we're done, I'm like the last note is ringing out, and I'm taking the bass off and setting it on the stand and running straight to merch.
That's crazy.
Because like
Steeples.
the highest merch sales are always directly after you play, because people are the most like emotionally invested in your
Like, they're all
show.
amped up.
Yeah, and they're the most likely to buy stuff. So you've got to get over there and capitalize on that quickly. But yeah,
We're missing out on those mid-show sales.
I know, right? Hopefully mid-show they're right in front of us rocking out.
Hopefully.
That's what
Yes,
we're hoping.
I guess that's true.
No, it's true.
That's kind of what we're trying
How's
to direct them.
pre-show? Do you get pre-show sales at all?
Occasionally.
I'm
Now.
a pre-show buyer in general.
Oh really?
Are you?
Yes.
I'm a
With Jimmy
mid-show
World
buyer.
anyway.
I'm a mid-show buyer because I know when the lines are the shortest.
Oh shoot.
I would never leave the show to go buy.
Depends on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like don't
If we're,
like the,
if we're in the pit, like up front, I'm not going to leave. If
Yeah.
we have a
Right.
seat, fuck that. I'm going to buy some merch.
There are some pre-show sales, and now that Lines is getting a little more known, we're going to places where people are coming back and be like, "Oh, I saw you guys a while back,"
Oh, that's
and
cool.
they'll buy some stuff, which is a really great feeling. So there's a little bit of that, but I mean, hands down, 90% is directly after the show.
Oh, wow.
So that's why like I set my bass down and I run. I don't even on this tour. I'm not even going to be running a bass amp. Like I'm just running my pedal board with my processing and a DI and going straight in, just so we can like set up as quick as possible, get off as quick as possible, while still not sacrificing timbre. Because I started realizing the only sound that's coming out of the front of the house isn't from my amp. It's all from the preamp on an thing. So I can just put a preamp on my board, get a sound that I like more, and I'm
that actually depends.
it does depend on
That
the
depends
sound
on
guy.
the sound guy.
Yeah, but most
A good sound guy like me, the bass amp matters.
Really?
But most sound people suck balls, so I'm with you. I'm a studio owner, so I think I can
you
fairly
say
say
they're
fuck
mostly
all live sound
scroticular?
people.
Did you say that most of them are scroticular?
Start using it as a cuss word, a slander. No, I mean I want Scroticular and Fabi Dongus to compete for best, not for worst.
for
I'm not
best
gonna use-
genitalia based Twitch name.
Very specific genre.
There's about 3 contestants.
So I'm not gonna slander. Okay, I'm just gonna say very openly and very confidently that most live sound people suck at their job, and I, as somebody who doesn't mostly do live sound, can do a fucking better job.
Nice.
I'd like to say that.
To be fair, you've done a decent amount of
Very
live
dick
sound.
way. Oh yeah, I have done a lot of live sound in my life. That's where I started. But I left
Okay,
that work.
gotcha.
Yeah, so I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
So
Like
I
this
could've
guy
been live
says Ben
sound.
is Merch Girl Supreme.
Oh, who said that?
Your channel?
The lines guy.
Just to qualify that very like angry statement. The problem with most live sound people is they don't care about their job.
Exactly.
So I have no
Yeah.
idea if their skills, if they could be good or not. I think if you don't care about your job, odds are you also aren't that good. But I think there's also a lot of live sound people. I met a live sound guy. I don't know if he was good or not. He wasn't doing the gig. He was just helping me out. But I did a live sound gig, and the guy who was helping me out was literally the engineer for... Oh, God. Who
That
did they...
band.
The
You too.
band, we all know them. They did the Angels
In the
Die
Outfield.
song.
System of a Down.
System of a Down.
Oh, what a
he
great
was-
band.
He was the engineer for that album, the big one, Toxicity.
For Toxicity. Jeez.
He was the engineer for Toxicity because he used to work at Cello Studios. So I met him in LA, and he's now a live sound guy. And anyway, he has his whole own story of why he left the studio world and whatever.
Fair.
So I believe there are live sound people out there who are extremely talented. I know a few, but most live sound people I've met in the field when I was a band were fucking dicks. You ask them to give you more, they don't give you more. You
They
ask
just
them
act
to
like
turn
they're
it
turning
down,
it
they
up,
don't
and
do
I'm
it. That's the number one thing. Here's what I think the key to a bad sound person is. You hear a lot of engineers say bullshit like, hey, if the band is, they ask for this or that, oh, I just pretend to turn the knob, and then they're like, cool, because they don't know anything.
Most of the time, I say cool because I'm like, okay, this guy sucks, and I'm just not dealing with it anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
not getting what you
I'm
want.
out. I'm like,
Sound,
whatever.
a lot of sound people get together and talk about how bands are stupid and how they know everything, bands don't know anything. And I think any sound person who does that is a fool, because I think the first thing you can do to make the band sound great is give them the first line of defense is give them a great monitor mix, because they hear themselves good, they're having fun, they like you, because you automatically stand above every other sound person in the world,
In a heartbeat.
and now they can play better. And somebody playing well is the first step to them being good. Like everything you do is infinitely better if a band sounds better.
Yeah, I've
And then
heard,
you get a good
I'd
mix.
agree.
I was listening to another podcast, guitar podcast, based in San Diego. Say Sail Hum. We can say their name. They're cool.
The
You should
guitar
listen to them.
trading,
The
potting,
guitar buying,
podcast.
selling, trading, fixing, modding, reviewing podcast. That's their tagline.
Nice.
Well, one of them they play live fairly often. They're guitar-based, effects-based kind of podcast. And he tells me whenever a sound guy or whenever someone, especially when they play in like churches, and they say, "Hey, can you turn your amp down?" He said 100% of the time he turns it up. So that next time he can say, "Can you turn it down?" He can turn it right back down to where he wanted it originally, and they're like, "That's great."
I actually have a really good friend of mine who, I think he's actually doing his stream on Twitch right now because this is his usual time, named Drew Price, who does live sound for Jacob Whitesides and To Speak of Wolves. And
I know To Speak of Wolves.
really?
Well, I know Gage, the singer.
I know Seth.
We went to a school together. I don't know anybody else in the band.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, good guys. But yeah, he's
Gage is
their,
a really fun guy.
He's their live sound guy.
Okay, awesome.
And he does a really good job. I'm hoping Lions has a budget to hire him before too long because, I mean, he's a really good friend of mine. I know he does good work. And he's still handsome.
That's important. That's very
Plus,
important.
it'd be nice just to have another set of hands on the road. Jeez. I don't mean
yeah.
that sexually. I just mean to carry gear.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
It's
I
a
could
big
mean
deal.
it sexually.
I think we'll let him know.
We'll let him know.
I'll
You
go
know,
sexually
Nick-
harass him later tonight.
Nick could come.
Oh, dude. But Nick is whack.
kind of whack.
Oh, your microphone. Dang it.
Whack.
Whack.
Hey, maybe you could raise that up a little bit.
I tried, but your
It's
mic
so far from
stands
your face.
broken and it keeps sinking down.
You gotta go real hard.
I tightened.
on that.
Oh,
You gotta tighten.
hold on.
Who do we got?
We have a celebrity in the chat.
Oh shit!
Oh, is it,
I am here, says Floppy.
Yes.
Liz
Floppy
says
don't.
Floppy.
I know of the legend.
Now, Floppy, you have some competition today
Oh,
Oh,
live in the chat right
Genitalia-based
now.
competition.
because we also have, assuming he's coming back.
No, he's here. He says we back.
Oh, he does say that.
Screw
Floppy Dongus meet Scroticular.
He's like
Scrotacular?
Megatron or something.
Nope, Scroticular.
I love that. I love that Mike is now a Decepticon, and that is now canon.
Oh my god.
Scroticular versus Floppy.
Dude, the
Fight
scrotes
one,
versus
begin.
the flops, dude.
The flubs. He says, "Oh, I see you have been challenged."
That's right. We got to think of a good way to make them throw down.
I say video editing competition. I'm just trying to help Mike out.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like fight to the death.
Yeah, please
I mean,
make
that works
1
too.
week of social media content for us. Thanks.
Yeah, that would be great.
To the death.
But all about penis.
That's all. It
That's
can be
just
for
called
your account.
That's fine. I can deal. I can
So
happily deal.
Scroticular says he's not sure if Twitch allows that kind
duel
of
him.
content. Oh, we do have in-chat dueling, but
shit.
you have to have earned
Floppy
points
just
from watching the
extend-
stream.
Floppy just extended an olive branch. He says, "Nice to meet you,
Scrotal.
Scrotal.
What duel him, Floppy? Yeah, Liz is like just.
Dude, Liz's duels everyone.
You know, Liz right now is acting like a Mexican girlfriend.
Mexican. This is gonna get real subtly racist in here.
No, because I'm just ripping off Pablo Francisco, who's a Mexican
Oh, so
comedian.
it's allowed.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, a Mexican originally said this.
Floppy says
So
we can manage this with words. Wow. What a little bitch.
the band who this shirt is from is apparently watching right now and just texted me going, "Nice shirt, nerd."
What's the shirt?
They're a really awesome band in town called Bazooka Tooth. They're
Bazooka Tooth.
hardcore punk. Think kind of like Bad Brains, all like sort of in the vein of like the straight edge stuff from like the 80s and such.
Oh wow.
And they're so much fun. They're three of like the greatest people I know. And two of them are this engaged couple, Ben and Audra, and they are just like the nicest people you could ever hope to meet. And they just play this like crazy, awesome hardcore music. Ben also fronts Owls in the Attic here in town, who is another band that I've been to almost every one of their shows. Like great guys, metalcore style.
Okay, cool.
Double
We
X
actually
Prada,
are-
kind of.
Drinking water out of an owl tonight. So this is to y'all.
In honor of Owls in the Attic.
This is Owls in the Basement.
I was actually in a joke band based off of them called Pheasants in the Basement for one show with my buddies Jeremy and Jason. Yeah,
It's a very niche joke band.
and it wasn't even metal; it was jazz.
Toppy says it's nice to meet you, fellow genitalia man. Together we can form mega genital.
one large testicle.
We were hoping they'd fight, but no, I don't know if you guys are seeing the correlation or the possible combination here, but a floppy dongus and scroticular together.
It's about to get weird, isn't it?
No, it's already as weird as it'll be. See?
It's the ultimate
see?
Transformer fusion. You have Optimus fusing with Megatron, creating the ultimate dong. The Ulta dong.
So,
Forced to rule Twitch.
This might be a good point I would like to show you guys my internet video, if you wouldn't mind. Because we've experienced so many internet problems tonight, it's kind of screwed over the whole show. I just thought, I have it loaded, I have it queued.
Okay, you have it queued.
It is
Let me
queued.
look, see what I can do with my internet magic powers.
Yeah. But you gotta,
Is it long, though?
No, it's very short,
It's not loaded.
very informative. No, it's not there. Go to the, oh wait, maybe that is it. The internet is not being offended today.
There we go.
That's not it.
What's that say?
That's the wrong video.
Definitely not it.
So what videos is that?
Go
again?
to our Gmail. You might want to load up. If one of you could load up Twitch on your phone so we can hear it and all. Here we go. How the internet works. Very important.
I paused it. Oh, so it's less than a minute.
It's less than a minute.
I'll allow
Just a
it.
quick video about how the internet works, just so we all understand why we're having such an internet shortage tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to mute us this time because it's too much work.
No, it's good
I
because
have it up.
it's important we give a little commentary, I think.
Very important. Oh, so it's less than a minute.
It's less than a minute. Just a
The phones will be picked up on the mic.
This
Oh.
is the internet.
Can't hear it otherwise.
But how's it made? Well, it all
It's going to be a slight
starts
delay,
here
ladies and gentlemen.
in Australia, where it's mined before being
Australia.
transported using a special internet wheelbarrow to a factory for mixing. Smells delicious. Next, the internet
it's like
is
zoomed
barreled
in, I
up
can't
the
Good
road
internet.
to the
Ignore that. The problem will be fixed right now. You don't see any of this, so it's fine. Except for you probably see it all.
Smells delicious.
We're just gonna do it like this. Make my life way easier. Blech. We're doing it like this.
factory next door.
Trying to see how many times we
Really
can
bad
create a loop.
internet is washed away before the factory calls the head of the internet, Mr. Bill Gates, for his approval. Once approved, Thomas here releases the clean internet
up and
to begin
rolled to
its
the factory
10-month
next
journey
door. What?
to Ireland. It's then
see that?
blessed
It's a
before
10-month
arriving
journey
in
to
your
Ireland.
home. Oh, there's
It's
Britain.
then blessed before
The end.
arriving in our homes. Okay, that's a very choppy demonstration of my
Why
video.
is Bill Gates a black man? That is
Because
not.
that's how the internet works, damn it.
I feel like that would have been very funny if it was properly done and well cued and we had no technical difficulties, but that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of the video at the
Anyway,
same
the
time.
rest of you can go look at that video later because we're failing as a stream. But I think my favorite part is right there where it says the internet is then blessed before it's sent to our homes when it goes on its 10-month journey to Ireland. That's my favorite part of the internet.
10-month journey to Ireland. It's very, very brutal.
That's true.
the poor little
And there
internet.
was apparently some sort of problem in that very, very long pipeline in getting to us tonight. So
We lost a ship. We lost a lot of good men that day.
Dear God.
we know this. Moment of silence.
Well,
All right, so we're back with Music Row Hideout.
More somber tone now.
Yeah, I'm trying to come back to music, but it's so
So
hard
about
with
the
bass
jazz-
Where have we
playing.
even gone? We've gone down a path I don't know if we can recover.
you've gone down a path I cannot follow.
But outside of Lines in the Sky,
Yes.
you're also involved in some other things, which you've kind of alluded to a little bit here and there.
Yes.
And we've talked about a little off stream, but let's clue the people in on stream.
Yeah, so I actually play with 4 different groups full time. Lines is my project. That's the project I write with. That's my band. As much as it also is Jesse's and Bo's, but like that is like I'm
But
the
primarily,
artist.
we're saying it's yours.
Yes.
If
it
anything,
is
100%, maybe 98% yours.
not,
You know-
9.99. The other
Oh.
guys don't really matter that much.
You know who Lines in the Sky is 0 of?
Nick.
Nick.
That guy's whack. That guy's
Because Nick is whack. he's gonna get home tonight
gonna
and
cry.
he's gonna beat the tar out of me. I'm gonna go over to his place and be like, "What's up, dude?" And he's a big dude. He might whoop my ass.
Oh yeah, especially if he cried all day. He's gonna feel very emasculated. He's gonna need to kill you.
I've been with the same R&B artist for about 7 years. Her name is Morgan Bosman. She's like an R&B neo soul group or artist. My bad. Sort of Erykah Badu, Jill Scott influenced. A little bit more jazzy though. And we put in a lot of different, like some pop elements in there too. But I've been with her for like 7 years. I've been her band leader for I think 5 or 6.
okay.
Okay.
I met her like day 1 at Belmont in speech class.
Speech.
Yeah. So like my background is actually in R&B sort of. That's what me and my buddies played back home. And I came to Belmont's campus and looked around at all these rich white kids, and I was like, I'm not playing R&B anymore. I was like,
He won't fit in quite the same.
I'm going to stereotype all these kids right now. And
Hey, there's also a few rich other races now too,
there's like 3 black kids there now.
and then some very very poor people who are getting like college for free somehow.
That was me.
Yeah, I
Not free, but no. And then I walk into speech class, and Morgan walks up there wearing, I think, like a St. Louis shirt, and starts talking about how she's a neo soul artist in Nashville. And as soon as her speech was over, everyone's supposed to ask questions. And I was like, "So would you say more like Jill Scott or Erykah Badu?" And her eyes light up, and she's like, "You," and I'm like, "You," and I've been playing with her since.
Can we drop the pretense of saying neo anything and just say new because that's what it means?
Yeah, but that whole movement was like called neo soul way back before I even knew what it was.
New soul.
New soul.
Yeah, basically. So she does that, and then I'm with my good buddy Ian Munzik. He's a country artist here in town. I've known him since college. He came in my sophomore year, and he's a really great dude. We kind of ran around in a lot of the same circles. He's also a bassist, and a mandolin player, and a guitar player, and all sorts of other things. He's a very talented guy. His songs are really a lot of fun. They're very much very country, but with like some slightly like alternative, almost. He listens to a lot of hip hop, and like he doesn't do the hip hop stuff because that stuff is super racist. But he has like a little bit of that kind of like more poppy influence from the hip hop era, I'd say. Really great dude. I love going with him everywhere. Most of his dates are fly dates, so flying gives me anxiety, but whatever. But great guy.
Where do you end up playing a lot?
I'm sorry.
Well, where do you end up playing?
That we actually just got back from a gig out in Bozeman, Montana. We've been out to
love
Sheridan.
Bozeman.
Dude, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And fun fact, the drummer for that group, Tyler Mahurin, I hope I said your name right. I probably didn't. He was actually drumming. He's a big metal drummer. So he played in, he also played in Hollywood Undead for a little while.
We mentioned them earlier.
Yeah, he's a really good dude. Like one of the nicest guys I think I've ever met. And he's playing with Ian now. Ian's manager used to manage, I think she does still manage maybe, or used to Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria. And Tyler used to do some road managing for Asking Alexandria. So like the three of us kind of come from almost like a metal area a little bit. So it's really cool. And then I have my bar band, Wrestle with Jimmy. We do like 90s grunge. And
Wrestle with Jimmy.
Wrestle with Jimmy, like say it. So
with Jimmy.
like the masturbation joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking much more the internet meme about getting your Jimmy's rustled.
Jimmy's rustled? No, wrestle, not rustle.
Gotcha.
Wrestle. Yeah, just like Say It Ain't So by Weezer. Which, it's so funny. Russ Sternglass, who's the drummer in that group, and he and my buddy Chris Tobin put it together initially. They didn't even realize that Wrestle with Jimmy was a masturbation joke. I didn't even either until after they had named the band, and we're like, that's perfect. We're going to go around making everyone say dick jokes. But yeah, and so that's a lot of fun. We're actually playing tomorrow night here in town.
Exactly, Flabby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where are you playing?
Nashville Underground. We got the 10 to 2 slot, second floor. But yeah,
So if you guys are local here to Nashville, 10 to 2 Nashville Underground, you can go see.
yeah, you can come through
wrestle with Jimmy.
wrestle
Wrestle with
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Second floor.
to remember if I knew
If you're 21 and
that-
up.
what that was about. Wrestle with Jimmy.
So that whole song "Say It Ain't So" is actually a really sad song about River Kumos. It's kind of based around his parents' divorce and his father's alcoholism when he was a kid, and so a lot of the like "Say It Ain't So" is like just kind of him hoping that it's really not that way. I think, and then it's like turn on the TV, wrestle with Jimmy, just kind of talking about how he would like just come home and whack it. You know, and
Kind
then
of like Nick.
I'd have to. And he would come home and nick it.
There's a 90% chance this episode's going to be called Nick is Wack.
Oh, and it's just raised to 100%.
Yes. Yes. But yeah. So I didn't even know that was like a masturbation joke until they told me. And then I was talking actually with my buddy Ben, who's the frontman of this group, and he was like, he's brilliant when it comes to just music in general. And he was like, yeah, dude, it's masturbation. I was like, sweet.
Sweet Ben, sweet.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's right, Floppy. I forgot because I knew it was coming up this weekend, but today is actually Floppy's birthday. That's why he wasn't going to be here the whole time.
Happy birthday,
He
Floppy.
turned 19 in Canada,
Nice.
which is not
Holy
as good as
shit.
19 in America, but
Floppy has been 19 this whole time.
no, he's been 18 this whole time. He just turned 19.
In my head, Floppy was like 35.
And they just went out for dinner and he had his first legal drink because apparently that's 19 in Canada.
Oh,
Wow,
hey,
congrats.
I can dig it. But hey, enjoy
I just feel like
your
I need
first
to
legal
change
drink.
my entire tone of how I talk to Floppy from now on. You're 18. I mean, 19 now. Holy shit. Hi.
That's how you do it. It's kind of chest of the molestery, if you ask me.
Hey, 19 doesn't count anymore. You can drink in Canada,
In Canada, you can drink here too, but not legally.
not legally.
What? You don't drink underage? No one does.
No, that's against the law.
No one does that. No one injects marijuanas. If you inject the marijuana, you catch the gay.
You can. It's an off chance.
Nah, it's guaranteed, man. You smoke the devil lettuce, you take it in the anus. All right.
That's a good question. Liz wants to know, Ryan, if you remember how old she is. Because it's not your bad person.
17,
Oh,
right?
yeah, she is. Good call.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
nice.
in my head, the picture I have of Liz, I just have this vague idea that she's 17. So I feel like I know how to relate to a 17-year-old.
And Liz is actually local. She's local. She's close by.
I mean, she's younger than my nieces.
I mean, she's younger than me.
Well, I'm assuming everyone here is over the legal drinking age because no one drinks underage. So,
That's true. That's against the law. You go to jail forever.
Yep.
I don't know why I assumed Floppy Dongus was older than me, but I just did.
I know,
Now
but he
I'm like,
said if you think he's 35, then he must have been doing well.
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely thought he was older just because of the mythos around him.
The mythos.
Yeah.
The mythos
yeah,
around Floppy
there's
Dongus.
just a real, quite a myth to be, 18 and carrying.
Don't worry,
I think.
Scroticular's in his 20s. He's, I want to say, 22, 23? Somewhere around
Your
there.
first legal drink, was a vodka lemonade.
Fail.
He said
Absolutely.
it tasted like a shitty lemonade.
Yup.
I was,
Tastes like a little bit like rotten.
I was sitting at a bar waiting for midnight, and then the guy made me some mix of whatever he had. He didn't even know. He was like, "Here, happy birthday." I was like, "Sweet."
You know,
I waited until midnight at PM on Wedgwood Avenue.
Oh,
No,
we
Belmont
went
Boulevard.
out. Did you? You weren't there. We weren't friends yet.
It's just next
but-
to Chago's.
That's I've been,
Yeah.
I mean, I've eaten there for lunch at
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
He
It's
gave me
very okay.
He gave me a free shot.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think I maybe
They have a really
ate
good
there
burger.
once.
What's the place
for
I went
an
with you?
Asian place.
Yeah, that's what I got there. Was
The
a
burger's
burger.
really good. Everyone loves the burger there.
Yeah, the burger was good. It was some kind of like Asian spiced burger with like a little bit of heat.
They
on
put like
it
a
or
little
something.
teriyaki something on it, a little bit of something spicy.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's
yeah,
some teriyaki.
it's nice.
Yeah, it was good.
But their like regular Asian food, like sushi and stuff, is not very good.
Dude, see, I'm not a big sushi guy, but you got to go up to Peter's in Brentwood.
Where?
Peter's?
Peter's.
Peter, I know.
I love
Honestly.
sushi.
Dude,
myself.
that's the spot. That's whenever me and my girlfriend get Asian, like that's where we go.
I went to Chago's today for lunch.
Dude, Chagos is fun.
Chago's fun. It's not Mexican food.
It's not Mexican food.
No.
If you go there like for Mexican food, you're gonna be sad. But if you go
and
there
that's
just
the
for like,
first few times I went, I was so
Chagos.
disappointed.
yeah, you have to go have like fun Mexican inspired food.
Yeah,
That is actually pretty
Mexican-esque.
fun. Mexican adjacent.
It was like a pretty good cook. One time had Mexican, and
Yeah.
many years later he was like, I'd love to start a restaurant that was like that.
Yeah, exactly.
My own
Yeah.
version, but like kind of like that thing I had that one time.
Yeah, it's very
and then
like
he did that.
Americanized.
No, I don't think he means Peter D's. That's
No. I think
that's
it's
fancy.
I think
place,
it's
right?
Peter's Sushi.
Peter D's is like hella fancy, isn't it?
Maybe
I've heard
I
that
don't know.
before, and I feel like it sounds real fancy.
I just know Peter's is next to Chili Burrito, which is one of my also favorite spots in town.
Okay,
Chill
See, I don't
Burritos
know a lot
nice.
of places around here because I've only lived here for 6 months.
Yo, Brentwood has those two spots. I don't know if anywhere else there that's like really good. But
And I
those
live
two
right
spots
next
are
to
good.
Belmont, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I come here, I go to Belmont, I come home, and I go to 12 South at Hillsborough. That's it. Like that's my
Yeah.
life.
So I mean, you've obviously. Have you had gone like to Hattie B's or something like that?
I've been
yet?
to Hattie B's like 5 times. Hattie
Okay,
B's is
yeah,
the
yeah.
love Hattie B's.
I went to Hattie B's today, but the line was so long. The people I was there with wanted to move on, so we went to
It sure is floppy. Ferris Bueller's Day
somewhere
Off
else
poster.
instead.
To what?
Went somewhere else. I forget.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it the Settler? Where's the place you and I went for?
the Cellar's cool.
Distillery.
Not the Settler.
Oh,
Distillery.
We
Distillery.
went to
The
the distillery a few times.
Settler.
Yeah, Distillery
I get
on
confused.
right across from like Kung Fu, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Midtown.
Yeah, it's a new spot.
So went there and got.
There's
it was
another
good.
one too downtown.
You know what's cool about that place? It's always there's not that many people there. Like there's always people, so it doesn't feel weirdly dead. But there's
it's never, like,
lots of
packed.
open stuff. We went there on
Really?
the Super Bowl,
That was cool.
and
yeah.
when we got there an hour early before the Super Bowl started, and had the choice of any seat in the house we wanted in front of their
Yeah.
ginormous screen.
But
big
by the
sound
end of the
system.
Super Bowl, it was full.
It was full eventually. Yeah.
Okay.
It was on a rooftop. It literally snowed on us
Yeah.
while we were watching the Super Bowl.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But remember that? Remember when our life was being cold all the
And
time?
now it's being so hot you want to die.
oh, dude, it's just sweat all the time. Like
It's awful.
An unending slight sheen.
Now you're used to it though, because Virginia's like that too.
Virginia's not as bad.
Really? See, I've only been to Virginia once. I went to
Virginia doesn't.
Colonial Williamsburg,
Oh, that's not far from me. My parents lost.
and it was way worse than this. It was
really?
miserable. I was in July last two summers ago.
Okay, you might have hit like a bad streak, but
It was.
like it doesn't seem like
so miserable.
it's weird because Virginia. All growing up, it never seemed like it got this hot, and it never seemed like it got as cold as it gets here. Plus, it's way more predictable in Virginia because we have the Chesapeake Bay and the currents there. At least that's my thought. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know, but my theory is
You're
that since we're
not?
closer to, I'm
This is a
not,
meteorologist podcast. What are you doing here?
I don't.
Holy shit, get out of here! You faked your
skedaddle.
credentials.
I play bass. I'm dumb as shit.
You only know 4 strings.
I play a 5-string. Thank you very much.
Oh, you fancy.
I actually went into college on a 6, which is the silliest thing on the planet. But yeah,
Was it like real wide neck?
it was in Ibanez, so the neck was still really
so it's
narrow.
still- yeah.
yeah.
I got
learned-
the 6-string bass 6.
Nice, yeah.
And
I got
plays like a
that.
guitar.
I got that because I still am a massive Primus fan. So that's where the 6-string bass came from. But anyways, I think that since we're closer to the ocean, it's like more controlled by ocean currents and stuff. Because the weather there does not seem nearly as sporadic as it does here. Like here, it's nuts. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
The ups and downs, yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Although,
Did you know there's a tornado season?
yeah,
Here?
we already
Yeah.
went through it. You went
Yeah.
through a tornado season, Jury, and you were just fine.
Yeah,
There's
we've already
a
gone through
whole
it.
season of tornadoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as I
we
like to
still
say,
rarely get it here.
as I like to say, tornadoes are not
There
real.
were tornadoes here, though.
I mean,
Theoretically,
a baby one might have touched the ground, maybe.
No,
you see
like a bunch went through around, just didn't hit downtown or anything. And
Oh,
like,
so-
like some people, like a couple people died. Like it was like tornado season, like hit and killed people.
See, I was gonna make a joke, but then people died, so now I
You
can't.
can still make a joke. We have no soul. We're callous as fuck on this.
So it didn't hit places that matter, is what you're saying. No, I'm really sorry.
Don't you remember people died?
Damn it!
how dare you? This is a podcast with heart and soul.
I'm out of here.
I believe.
We start flipping tables, throwing MacBooks.
You know what, Nick? Maybe Ben is whack.
I am the epitome of whack. I'll tell you that right
But
now.
you own it, and that's what sets you apart from Nick.
Dude,
You
I
own
know
it.
could
I
a normal
remember.
person wear open can whoop ass socks, red shoes, purple flannel? Nah, I'm whack.
That's pretty whack.
Truly
It
whack.
is. It's
Not
so
not,
many.
not just red shoes. Like they're like red chucks.
They're actually Vans, so close.
Sure. But Chuck style.
Yeah, they're Chuck style Vans.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know. They had a pair of these that were like where the whole shoe is one color, and they had it in purple and high tops, and I wanted them so bad, and I didn't pull the trigger, and they canceled it.
Would have gone with your shirt.
Huh?
Would have gone with your shirt.
Well, I just wanted the purple high tops because they were so ugly. They were like
That's a weird reason to want a
they
clothing
were like
item.
pukey lavender. I can't explain it. It was a heinous color, and I wanted it so bad. It was so ugly. I would have loved it.
Pukey lavender. Usually people say pukey green. I think you should go to the doctor.
But it's like I didn't know how else to explain it. It was just like gross, flat,
Terrible color.
terrible. It was an awful color, and I loved it. I love I have
You steal my beer too?
Yep.
I have like 20 something pairs of shoes, and that's
That's
after
a lot.
That's after I throw out 2 black guards bags worth of shoes.
That's several shoes.
I like shoes.
I own a pair of sandals, 2 pair of dress shoes for work, 1 pair of walking shoes I bought because I was going to walk a lot in my honeymoon, and that's it.
I have
I wear
have a lot.
That's all the shoes I own. No, and I own a pair of motorcycle boots, but I don't own a motorcycle anymore, so they sit there.
Oh well, what motorcycle did you have?
I've had an fiddling with my.
How dare you touch another man's microphone?
I had the first bike I bought was a Kawasaki 800 Cruiser.
Okay.
Kawasaki Vulcan 800.
Gotcha.
I think it was 800. Yeah. And it was like red and cream. It's beautiful. I loved that bike. It was so cool. And I got in a terrible accident with it. I was on a freeway. Some guy, or the highway or interstate, what the fuck you call them out here? And some guy just changed lanes into me. That was great. I flew like 40 feet. I didn't go to work that day. I was on my way to work. Called in. I was like, I'm not coming in. But I wasn't going to the hospital or anything. Like I had full gear. Like I was good.
Okay.
I mean, I was fucked, but like I was good. You know.
You didn't have like serious, like you weren't picking rocks out of your arm.
No. I had
Yeah.
full leather armor, the whole
Okay.
deal. So there's a huge across my full face mask, crazy scratches. Like if I didn't have a full face helmet, I would now have no face. Just slid on the asphalt, and the guy drove off. Didn't even stop. Now he changed lanes just on my front tire, so my bike fell and slid, and I flew off. So the bike was actually okay. It was, I
Right.
mean, one side was all bent and scratched up.
But like that's repairable.
We're definitely repairable,
Yeah.
literally to the point where the ambulance came and they're like, hey, you want to see the hospital? And I was like, no, that's expensive. And so I couldn't lift my left arm at all. Like it would not move. But my grip was fine.
Okay.
So I had someone help me pick up the bike, a cop, and I lifted my arm onto the handlebar and I rode home.
Jeez.
Because I ain't no bitch. And then I got home and like collapsed into bed and was so much pain for like
Yeah.
3 days. But after that bike, I sold that and then I got a Triumph Street Triple. I bought it brand new, which is bikes are not like cars, you know. It was like
they're not
$9
nearly as
grand brand
expensive.
new.
Yeah.
And that was a much faster
Yeah.
bike. That bike, I got it up to 135 on the freeway. I mean, on a closed track where it's safe and legal. And
Yeah.
it's a naked bike, right?
Okay.
So there's no windscreen.
Yep.
And so it was like buffeting like crazy. I was like, I can't go any faster. I'll fly off the bike. But like that bike was super fun.
Nice.
We
And I
need to
sold
talk
that one
about
to buy a
this.
car. What do we?
I've seen in the chat, Lines in the Sky has recently brought up that Nick had a separate suitcase of shoes for your
Ben,
last tour.
Yes, I did. Unapologetically. I don't care. Cry me a river,
Holy
bitch.
shit. I just called you
You
Nick.
called him. Oh,
You did. You called
Wow,
me Nick.
you're
And
becoming
I
so
was just gonna
whack.
let that like go through, but since you're gonna bring it up, you are now whack.
Oh, you've caught the whack.
No, yes. So not on this past tour, but the tour before that, I was actually moving into a brand new place. Like I had to run in, throw my stuff into my new place, and then get on the van and go, basically. And that's also happening again this tour.
Oh wow.
Year lease, things happen. And
Floppy says Ryan has the whack. Run.
and yes, I had an entire green Jaguar suitcase full of shoes, and they can cry me a river. We're going out for a month. I'm taking my damn shoes. I
But
do
why
not
though?
care. Because I like having different shoes for different performances, and plus, if
To
you're-
make you feel pretty.
it makes me feel very pretty. All right, but no, it's also another thing like for me because you're out on the road a lot, and you're gonna be showering in different places, and you don't like I've gotten I think I got like a slight case of athlete's foot on the last Lines tour, which annoyed the crap out of me, and I got one on the tour before that too, just because we're you're showering in different people's places, things happen. So if you trade out your shoes each day, it helps combat that. I bring like powder that I put in my shoes every night.
Now, does that help with like blisters and stuff too?
Not really. I
Oh,
mean,
damn it.
because we're going so hard, like especially
Sure.
for lines, because Bo is sitting down and Jesse's locked on a mic, so it's on me to go like as hard as possible. So regardless, like my feet are gonna get blistered. But like I bring like charcoal scrub with beads on it. I bring like different brushes to take care of my feet and stuff like that. I have powder that I put in my shoes. Like I do all that so I don't get athlete's foot. So and another way to really help that is switch out your shoes.
Interesting.
Like don't wear the same shoes.
So like
twice.
let them let the bacteria go away.
Yeah, let it die,
Sure.
basically. So I'm bringing the shoe kits because we're out for a month, and I don't care what you say. I don't care, Bo. I don't care.
I wish I like a Zoom function.
And they're gonna give me crap about it, but whatever. I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna do what I want.
Grown ass man, I wear all the pretty shoes.
I was trying to find like another pair of like pink or green shoes before a tour, but I wasn't able to find any.
See, I feel like I would like to like shoes, but I grew up.
Who wouldn't?
Like I would like to be like, oh, I've got these cool shoes. I wear these for this. It's cool. I like the idea of shoes. I like having like the right like shoes for the occasion or whatever. But
Yeah.
I grew up in San Diego, and I wear sandals only, and I only wear one brand of sandals, and I own one at a time. Yeah,
What are they? Like Teva or something like that?
rainbow sandals,
Rainbow.
exclusively, all leather, formed to your foot.
Yeah.
Rainbow sandals. I buy one every like 2 years because they're amazing. They're like
Yeah.
$60 for sandals, flip flops. So that's all I wear, unless I'm at work, in which case they force me to wear
Closed-toed
foot
shoes.
prisms.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. It's like I was really into shoes growing up too. Like remember when Nelly released Air Force Ones? Remember that song?
No, sing it though.
I can't. No.
The
like-
only thing I know from Nelly is it's getting hot in here.
That's not how he sounds.
So
That's-
take off all your clothes.
am getting so hot.
I can't do it.
I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Yeah, I'm a
You're
great singer.
fucking here.
No, but no, he released that song Air Force Ones, and like I saved up my allowance and got a pair of Air Force Ones when I was a kid.
Wow.
I had a pair of those shoes
I
that had
remember those
like
being a big thing,
a
yeah.
microchip in them. Well, not a microchip, but like a small computer that like judged how high you jumped. It was total bullcrap. But once again,
What?
I saved like
Wait, what?
$120 as a kid, and I got those
They
shoes.
put a computer in your
They-
shoe.
yeah, it was to, like,
to
tell,
judge
like-
how high you
It
jumped.
would like track your speed and track like how it said they did, but I never
That
learned.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I like
Where,
never.
how'd you get that data back? Is it a little LCD
I
screen
guess you're
on the
supposed
shoe?
to plug it up to your computer, but I didn't have a computer growing up, so
Do you still have
a
them
lot of money.
somewhere?
probably at home.
Can we plug into a computer and make fun of how high you jumped?
Dude, I had mad ups as a kid. Fight me, bro.
Got that 3-inch vertical leap?
Dude, mad ups. Kobe ain't got shit. But yeah, no, I've
Ask him what his
always-
favorite Drake song is. It's his favorite artist of all time.
So there's a running joke in my band, and also with my girlfriend, that because I don't really understand the appeal of Drake.
Me neither, to be fair. He's Canadian, and that's
I
weird.
just Canadians are weird. No, I just like
True. You heard me, Floppy.
his voice is like super monotone. I get it. Like he's a crazy successful guy. He's the most streamed artist of all time.
Really? Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran has the top single right now, but Drake is still the top streamed. He's clearly a very successful guy, done a lot of really great things, but I just don't get it. It's not for me. And that's art. Art is a subjective thing. I don't get it.
Oh.
But do you like Just Hold On, We're Going Home?
I don't even know what song that is.
Maybe the greatest song of our time.
I don't
highly
even know
unlikely.
that song.
No,
I know
I-
like God's Plan and Hotline
God's
Bling.
Plan.
Okay, you
And
get,
then
you get a
then
pass, Floppy.
I know that Push a Straight Rectum on the greatest diss track I've ever heard, Addy Don, recently. That was amazing.
Your
Yeah.
band says you're bluffing.
That's because I'm trying to be polite. I'm being recorded right now.
There are a number of very good Drake songs, but overall, I'm not the biggest fan. I will say that last night, coincidentally, I had a dream
It's about to get weird.
in which Drake caressed me. No, I was at some sort of award show, and Drake was there, and Kanye West was there, and two other people that in my
Not a fan of
dream I
either.
knew to be famous, but now I can't think of who they are. They were there, and they were all hanging out together, having a great time. And I walked up and sat right next to him, and one of them, let's just say Drake, it was Drake or Kanye, put their arm around me like, ah, we're like, yeah. hanging out. I don't remember what happened next. It got a little traumatic. I'm just kidding. but
One thing led to another.
the point is,
Anyway, Jake's got a little dick.
I doubt that his baby mom's a porn star, and so I'm going to assume he's doing
An
all
awful
right.
lot about Drake for someone who's not that big of a fan of Drake.
yeah.
Only because Pusha T released the greatest diss track. Y'all need it at some point. Listen to Add It On, and it's amazing. It's just he goes a little over the line. I will say that.
Sure.
He starts bringing in. I can't remember. It's one of Jake's producers, Ovo, I think.
Ovo, yeah.
Yeah, who has I think it's multiple sclerosis. Or something really bad, like it's going to kill him. And he started talking about oh, that man's about to die. Tick, tick, tick. The clock is ticking. I was like,
That's a
okay,
little fucked.
that's too far.
Yeah.
But the rest of the track was awesome. But I was like, yo,
But this kind of reminds me of something that we actually haven't touched at all, which is probably something that is interesting to a lot of people on Twitch, is you also stream on Twitch.
yeah. So my band, who are commenting here,
Yep.
we actually stream playing video games, and we're going to start trying to stream shows and gear reviews and things like that. We're the lines in the sky.
Well, they can see it in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Typing in the chat.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's actually my band. We do stream on here.
Now, as far as games, I know you do Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, so it's mainly been Team Fortress 2 and as my band calls it, Fractured Space. But Fractured Space.
Now,
So-
the reason I made me think of that because
Sure.
the biggest current streamer of all time,
Yeah, what's his name? Ninja. Yeah.
you know, he did a stream with Drake.
He did. He streamed
got,
Fortnite with him, right?
Yeah, Fortnite,
Yeah.
which is a garbage game, and we all hate it in this stream.
I've never played it.
We don't play Fortnite.
Okay, fair. We don't play Fortnite. Huh?
We don't play Fortnite. We usually don't even say the F word, but I allowed it.
Oh, gotcha. Word.
That's right. But that's the only thing that may remind me of it. But outside of those things, those are the only things you stream right now. Now, do you stream to it's the band's channel?
Correct.
You playing?
Yeah, it's us playing.
It's y'all playing.
Yeah,
Humans.
and it tends to be me and Bo for the most part. Bo and Jesse.
It says you're gonna do some Elite Dangerous as well. I've heard that's a great game. I've never
No,
played it.
Jesse, you're gonna do Elite Dangerous, you weeb bastard.
That's right, Floppy.
It's nothing to do with weeb stuff. I just want to insult him. No, he loves this game, Elite Dangerous. It actually seems
I've
really
heard
cool.
it's really good. I've never done it.
Yeah, I just also heard it's a lot, and I don't have the patience to learn all of that. And so, but yeah, he
This Croticular wants you to play Minecraft.
only for you, Mike. I'll play with you. We can make giant Croticulars in Minecraft.
So, and you never got into the Battle Royale stuff at all.
Not really.
Not at all.
We were talking before the stream.
little bit, yeah.
But for me, in terms of games, my best are fighting games. I love Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Those kind of games, and I love racing games. I was a huge Gran Turismo kid.
Oh, really?
Especially Gran Turismo 3. Me and my brother would sit for hours with Fast and the Furious going on one TV, and we would be modding our cars to get the best performance we possibly could out of
Yeah,
them.
moving the little sliders.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah.
move them a little bit, do a whole run, and then
Test it
come
out.
back and test it out. And just me and my brother, and we're both. He's not as much of a gearhead anymore, but I also love working on cars, so that's where that kind of comes in. But
Now,
yeah,
so did you ever get into the more realistic racing games like Dirt, like the Dirt series, Dirt Rally?
I wanted to. I just never picked up a copy.
I couldn't I tried to play them and I was like, this is boring. I don't want it to be realistic and hard. I want to fucking make a super fast car, ram other cars and fly across the screen.
Yeah, see, like a game like Dirt would be right up my alley, where it's very realistic with its controls.
Lines in the Sky, which is weird. I feel like he's your band,
Yeah.
but also Lines in the Sky.
That
says
seems to
space trucking is
dislike
my
you.
life.
Space, did you say space trucking?
And Floppy Dongus says you should play Dark Souls.
Oh, okay. So me and Bo, Bo specifically has played Dark Souls the most. I've played Bloodborne, which is a different game. The fighting style is very different, and the story is very
Dark
different
Souls?
as well.
Wait.
Bloodborne.
Oh, I
But
never
it's
played Bloodborne.
made
It's the-
by
the-
From Software.
Yeah, I know Bloodborne.
They're the same
Yeah.
people. But me and Bo have actually talked a whole lot about the whole story behind Bloodborne, which is weird because you never have the story told to you. You have to find it through artifacts.
Just like
and-
Dark Souls. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm saying Dark Souls and Bloodborne. We've talked about that story a lot.
Yeah.
He's played it. That would be fun, but there are guys now who are going through the whole game, no armor, no hits.
It's insanity.
So I feel like I feel like I'd be stepping into something way too late.
Well, let me tell you. I played. I'd never beaten Dark Souls. I played a little bit of here. I streamed a little bit.
Really?
People don't want. Honestly, in my opinion, now some people do like the really impressive stuff, but people seem to enjoy just watching me die over and over and over again. Sadly.
You ever watch the donkey videos?
Oh yeah.
On Dark Souls?
Oh yeah, I love the donkey. This is the
Thank
best
you,
video.
Dark Souls Remastered.
As soon as Dark Souls Remastered came out, I bought it and started streaming it at
Oh,
Floppy's
yeah.
request. And I haven't played much of it. Yeah, Floppy says blind runs are really popular with Dark Souls. People who've never played before. Really
Oh,
popular.
really?
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's
that would be
awful.
me.
Because it's a goddamn nightmare. That's why.
really? Yeah.
There's a reason why it has a reputation.
Yeah, it's just an insanely difficult game.
It's
like
so
that,
difficult.
Games like Cuphead.
Cuphead's so
things
much
like
fun
that.
though.
I've heard Cuphead's awesome. I've
Oh
been
my
avoiding
God.
playing it for I
don't
don't
own
know
it.
why.
I played
but
it once
I want to play
at
that.
TwitchCon last year. Weirdly enough,
Oh, nice.
and it was fantastic.
I want to do that, and I also really want to play. Once again, this guy Ben has been telling me to play Civ 5 because it's like I'm also a big StarCraft and RTS fan. I'm not very good. I'm not like those dudes in South Korea who are like
Sure,
have a
no
whole
one
base
is.
built.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
In like
it's
8
nuts.
seconds, and you're like, I got my first SCV though.
Yeah.
Got my next one.
I finally built the barracks, and they're
Yeah.
coming at you with a Protoss
you're
carrier.
like, what happened?
What? What is this trash? Like, I got one Hydra. Hydralisk. Sorry. Not Hydra. But yeah. No. It's... So I need to play Civ 5, but... Oh, no. What's happening now?
Wait, I bet I could. That Black Juju 24.
Yes! That's Chris Bowens. I love that man.
Oh. Well, he says I think he's trying to say he bet he could beat you in Mario Kart 60. Wait, I bet I could beat Ben
No,
in
no,
Mario
no.
Kart 64.
All right.
LOL. But Dark Souls is hard.
Look here, Black Juju. I will take you on right now. You come over here. I'll take you out of Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Wii, any of them. Double Dash. I will wreck you right here and now, son. Get over
I mean,
here.
it's not set up here right now, but we do have
Oh.
Mario Kart 64 and the new one on the Switch.
That was a lot of fun. Any of them.
I'm just saying, we might set that up for a bonus stream.
No, that's so. Me and that guy actually met freshman year, and he was the guy who got me into weightlifting back in the day, which I've clearly stopped.
You're talking about the peak of the male figure.
But no, and he is actually an absolute monster at Mario Kart, and we would just play for hours and just trash each other all the time. It was usually he or I who won in our friend group, but he's very good. He and I
Wow.
also do a lot of the escape games in Nashville.
Just so you know, I haven't
that's
done
cool.
any of those. I've heard they're really
They
good here.
are so much fun, and there's so many of them.
I've heard one of the guys who created like the big one graduated from Belmont.
Oh, really?
Really?
Someone I work with at Belmont, who is the son of Susan West, the vice president or whatever. I work with him, and he knew the guy. He went to school at Belmont with the guy who did the whatever. I don't know. Apparently, he made a crap ton of money off of it. That's the point.
Yeah, dude, they're so much fun. They're easily worth. It's like $30 some odd, but it's
Which is
so
way
worth
too.
it.
But I'm sure you can find a Groupon though. That's the
Oh yeah,
secret.
you can find
That's
Groupons
the
and stuff. But
secret.
man, I've paid the $30 and left
Totally worth
happy.
it. It's 1 hour, right, or less if you win.
Depending, yeah. But
Now I went. Okay, Groupon's great.
yeah.
I went to the Wax Museum.
oh yeah, up in Upperland.
Yeah, and it was okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't worth the full price, which is why I got the Groupon.
fair.
Eh.
The ones that are the escape room, I can tell you right now, were worth the price. Even
Yeah.
if it's not Groupon.
I think that's like the one. I think that's the one they're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, just so you know, men, you have been blessed.
Who have I been blessed by?
Floppy has said Ben is fun. I
Yes!
want more Ben streams,
I will happily return.
and you can
if
see
guys
him
will
if you
have
follow
me.
Lines in the Sky.
Yeah, we're trying to get better about our.
I mean, you see him in the
schedule.
background not doing much, but you'll see him.
Yeah,
They actually don't actually see me at all. You just hear my voice
you
going
get a
like,
cam. Now, are you playing mainly on console? Or are you playing on PC?
PC.
PC. Because you're a real person.
yeah, I'm a real man.
That's right.
So I don't have like a full rig. Both my bandmates have full blown like home built rigs that are really amazing. I just have an Asus
Floppy says
laptop.
Ryan is so out of the loop right now. He's on his phone, like he has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh, cool. Random video games. Go on.
But
No, I respect it. I respect it. I'm just, doing my own thing a little bit.
yeah,
Taking a quick mental break.
totally fair. Yeah, I just have a laptop that I play on. It's got a 970M graphics card in it.
970 is great.
So
And
it's
it's a little less
970M.
power. Yeah. My
Yeah.
last computer at 970, I gave that to my wife when I built a man's computer. But you know, it's
It's still like for everything I do because I don't play a lot of really graphics heavy games. Like I'm not out here playing, full ultimate level Skyrim. I'm not out here playing
Skyrim's
this
like
kind
a
of stuff.
2011 game. I'm sure your 970
It
could run
probably
it just
could at this
fine.
point, yeah. But like, okay, let's say modded to modern scale.
Sure,
Skyrim.
sure.
I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm not trying to run Crisis. Like,
Crisis. Has anybody cared about Crisis for like?
I remember that being like the benchmark.
Yeah, when it came out, it was like
Yeah.
the big. I built a computer when it came out. Sorry, no, I did not build a computer. I bought a computer when it came out,
Got you.
specifically to run it on as close to max as I could get, and I couldn't get to max because that's apparently impossible.
Yeah, that game is nuts. But like the main game that I actually use my computer for is actually tabletop gaming through Roll20,
Really?
which you could do on a Chromebook.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you should get
So
Realm Royale. It's you ever heard of Paladins?
yeah,
So it's made by the same people, same engine, same the whole deal.
okay.
But it's a battle royale style game. It's like halfway between Player Unknown and Fortnite, and it is amazing. And it's free,
Nice.
and it's very low requirements. You could easily run it.
I'll have to check it out.
That's one to definitely check out. I
Yeah.
love it. I definitely dig it. It's amazing.
I also replay Fable regularly on it, which I know is like the
Fable?
which is like the trashiest of all RPGs. But I have so
A
many
lot of
great
people really
memories of it.
love Fable.
Like I loved it. As I've got more into RPGs, I've realized that yes, it is RPG light for sure. But I didn't know all of like Peter Molyneux's hype beforehand, so I just bought a fun game
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Who's talking smack?
well, Lines of the Guy says we fully endorse PC Master Race in this band.
Yes, yeah.
then,
We're all PC guys.
A Enclave iBot says, "You think you can find an A on the bald one's head?"
I mean, if you want to give it a try,
is hot
I'm
as shit in
down.
here.
It is.
It's toasty. Who is this person?
I don't know.
I don't know, but they're pretty funny. I
I
like
don't know, but I'm glad they're here.
Yeah.
Lines of the Guy says we've done it on the road. You know, when you're in a pinch, you need breakfast. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It saves a lot of money from buying a Coleman camper grill. You just
That's true.
You put my head in the windshield for about an hour.
Let that sun really toast it
Yeah.
up until it gets red hot.
When my head is nice and red, just crack it.
Throw that sucker.
You want a sunny side up? You want to scramble? How you want it done?
Scramble, you just go.
Yeah, just shake it around a bit.
What have we become?
I don't know. It has been the day of
let's see.
technical
Are
difficulties.
we back? We're back live. We got sound.
For sure.
We have never had anywhere close to this amount of technical difficulties.
If you
I am.
you couldn't hear
got
us
it.
before, but we said that Ben
Zool.
is a great
thanks for coming
guest,
to hang out.
but he is cursed.
I am cursed. Murphy's Law. Because is the whole Murphy Irish thing?
It's not a fish face, it's an owl face.
Maybe. So what we were saying, Jury and I were just saying the best metal music can be found at Oscar's Tacos. And you
This is
said,
a metaphor.
And you said, quote, I've experienced legitimate metal music. I went to Texas where I heard Screamo.
Okay.
And then his mind was blown because he realized that was the best.
And so I'm just here to say,
Tex-Mex. I do know that.
I'm here to say, hey, you can like Screamo too. It's fine to like metal and Screamo if that's who you want to be.
If you want to be a bad person, you can also like Tex-Mex.
The challenges are just very different. I'm just saying they're very different.
Baby
they're
metal.
different things.
Baby, who said baby
Oh no, it was
metal?
autocorrect. He meant best metal.
Oh.
You nightmare person.
Who said that?
It was Enclave iBot?
Oh.
Or iBall? Or
A real
iBot?
rabble rouser.
I'm not
real
sure who that is.
chat.
I like them, but I don't know who they are.
The point is,
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
just a very different thing. So anyway, Oscar's Taco, you have to try it out. It's on 6th, and it's great.
Actually, there's a
On
number.
sixth,
There's like
like-
10 of them.
There are, but the closest one to here is 6th.
Okay.
Downtown.
Here's the deal, just so you
Six
know.
downtown. Okay.
I
got
mean, you
it.
grew up in Virginia, far from Mexico.
Very far.
Ryan, we grew up in San Diego, close to Mexico.
15
I
minutes.
myself-
15-minute drive to be in Mexico and have real Mexican food.
I myself
Yeah,
have a Mexican mother, meaning I have Mexican blood, which means I know.
Hey, when
This
you
is
know,
establishing
you know.
my authority.
Hey, you know what?
Topic.
I'm going to bow down to your authority. I
My
also think I'm
brother-in-law
a very
is half
close
Mexican.
friend.
That's my qualification.
That's me. That's me. I married his sister.
As Mexicans are wont to do. Stealing our women.
And
that-
San
never
Diego's
mind.
amazing Mexican food. Now, to be fair, to full credit, just because it's Southern California Mexican food does not mean it's 100% authentic Mexican food, but it's the closest thing you're going to find north of the border.
It's the
Okay,
truth.
gotcha.
Like, for instance, burritos are not a Mexican dish. It's a Southern California
It's a
invented
lie.
dish.
Yeah, that's like
But-
an American
but it's
thing.
real
It's what's
good.
now classified as quality of Mexican food, and it's the best.
I do, man. I love me a good burrito.
I wish Oscars were open right now. We could all
We
just
could go right now.
We'd
I could
stream
feast
from
on
the
some
cell
Oscars
phones.
right now.
Dude, I'd be so down.
So Oscar's Taco Shop here is actually that guy first opened a taco shop in San Diego.
Okay.
He's a real San Diego
And I've eaten there a
Mexican.
number of times, and everyone I know who's moved out here, which there's a weird number of people who moved from San Diego to Nashville, have all said this is the only place you can find Mexican food. When you hate your life because there's no Mexican food, this is your one paradise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for here, you don't find a lot of like. You find a lot of Americanized Asian food. You find a lot of Americanized Mexican food. A lot of Americanized Italian food. Like the only thing here that is like different in its own thing is obviously like the Nashville hot chicken, and we have some like decent burgers. That's like it. We do not have good pizza here. We do not
You're wrong.
have good pizza
You're
here.
wrong. I'm gonna call you right now. I've only been here 6
Where?
months. You're wrong.
Where?
I've had great pizza 2 places, and I've had one of the best pizzas I've ever had at one of them.
Whoa.
Where, though?
What was that?
So first of all, great pizza, Pizza Perfect.
Pizza Perfect's fun.
Perfect
place
pizza.
that we've been?
Yeah, that place is great
yeah.
pizza.
Pizza Perfect. It's fun.
But better. And honestly, one of the best pizzas I've had in a long, long time. 5 Points Pizza.
Okay. Yeah.
like
I'm
5
sorry. I need to
points.
retract that. 5
That
points
was
is pretty good.
so good. I was blown away.
But see, I don't know. Like 5 points is really good, but man, I don't know. I got to go to New York
Canada
even
does
in
not
high
make the
school,
best
and I
tacos.
got so spoiled. Like you can
Yeah.
find the best pizza in a little corner shack in New York. Like everywhere is going to be really good. So I just got spoiled. 5 points is good though. I do like 5 points.
I've only had pizza in New York one time. So I can't
Dude,
judge. But I've heard it's amazing.
You got to just go to New York and try like 50 different spots. And
Sounds like my kind of trip.
dude, it's so good.
and my
I got
buddy
very
were-
spoiled. I'm also a heretic who's a fan of Chicago deep dish.
Dude, I'm
He's
with
also
you.
that.
The thing is, that was sad. And you deserved it.
I deserve all the shame that my friends are going to heap on me for
The
that.
thing is, with Chicago
No, I
deep
like-
dish, it is good.
Have you had it in Chicago though?
I've not had it in Chicago.
Get it in Chicago.
Then you have nothing to say.
But I've tried
it's
it.
a different thing.
You're right. That's the problem. Is it's a different thing. It's not pizza.
It's like a
No, it
it's
is.
like a
It is.
it is pizza,
It's
but
other.
it's almost like a pasta. Or not pasta, maybe not the
Pasta?
right word. No, pasta's not the right word.
Are you sure you've had this?
It's so like New York. You get this long, thin,
Then
cut
yeah, a little
of
bit of crisp
pizza.
on the crust.
yeah, and
Right.
deep dish. It's like doughy and thick. Like you can grab it with your hand, but a lot of times you got to eat it with a fork.
It's not pizza.
It is. It's
Where's the sauce go?
on top and on bottom.
On top. Why would the hell sauce does not go on top?
Sauce goes everywhere.
Under
as
the
long,
cheese.
As long as it ends up in my mouth, I don't
The
care.
cheese seals the sauce.
I've had it a number of. I've had a Chicago deep dish that didn't have sauce on top.
Well, traditionally the sauce is the top layer. That's a traditional.
in
Chicago
traditional deep dish.
I don't know. I've had a few different Chicago deep dishes. They're all different. I've had a few different New York. They're all different.
See, Little Chicago here on Demumbrian used to be the bomb, and then something changed while I was in college, and it no longer was the bomb, which sucks because it was like the
Drug
only-
use.
What? What are you talking about? No, that doesn't
Did
happen.
they change or did you change?
I changed a lot. I became a whole different person.
Did you have
moving out
hair
here.
back in college?
I did for
Wow.
freshman and half a sophomore year.
Then you changed.
Yep. Then the Fire Nation attacked.
Did you inject the marijuana?
I injected the marijuana and I caught the gay. Dang it!
Which immediately you lose all your hair.
I am
That's
Joel
stage one.
Osteen's nightmare.
So
Which, man, no, I'm not gonna go there. But everyone who knows me knows how I feel about Joel Osteen, and it's not a flattering picture. Even though I have
Same.
this on my arm, it's not a flattering picture of that man.
Man, when was the last time we mentioned music though?
I was just about to say, should we listen to another Lines in the Sky?
Oh yeah, we
song?
totally
Hey, want
should.
to? Okay,
Absolutely.
By the way, if you're just joining us, to my right is Ben,
Hi.
not Nick,
That guy's whack.
and he
I
plays
love you
bass
guys.
for Lines in the Sky, which is a band, a music band, in fact.
Going on tour.
Yeah,
Next week,
Doesn't that
starting
sound
next week.
cool?
For nearly an entire month.
A whole month.
It's actually, I didn't know how long you guys were going, but I saw like the list of your guys. That's actually a lot of places, like real quick, like back to back to back to back.
That's one perk of having just 3 guys is we can get places quick, and it's easy. And the other
It
two
tells me you
guys,
have a 4th guy in a car, it moves way slower from the extra weight.
Well, it's not necessarily the extra weight, but it's like one other person to be late, one other person to have their gear in the van, one other person to have to take a shower at night or in the morning, one other person. And it's you don't realize how much that adds until I was on tour with my buddies, the Roosevelts, this past summer. We have 5 guys on tour, and it took us so much longer to get anywhere.
Kind of like having a wife. You just take
I wouldn't know,
it takes
but
the
yeah.
length of 5 guys to get anywhere.
You know, it sounds like the perfect tour would be just you. A one-person tour.
I'm a bassist. No one
It
wants
would
to see
just be
a
called
solo bassist. That would
Lime
be
in
the
the
most
Sky.
trash tour on the planet.
I feel like there's got to be
But
some
what's
kind
the
of
one
solo-
bassist who would, though?
Victor Wooten.
Victor
he
Wooten,
could.
that's what I was going to say.
I've actually met him a few times. He's a really nice guy. He's also from Virginia.
Have you read his book?
No, I've been wanting to for the longest
I got
time.
his book, bro. I read the book. I got the audio book.
I need
That's
to.
how lit I am.
That's how lit I am.
Yum.
Is that how you use that phrase?
You so
Funny
woke.
story about Victor Wooten.
Yeah.
No one is going to understand the insanity of the story besides other bassists. So, sorry.
So no one.
Yeah, pretty much. But so freshman year, I just turned 19, and my bass professor Roy Vogt, who is a legend in the bass community. I mean, he's played everywhere. He's an insane player. Takes us to Adam Nitty's home, or not home studio, but Adam Nitty's studio, his music dojo. Adam Nitty is quite possibly the most technically proficient bassist alive. It's crazy. He's amazing. He's also a professor at Belmont. And we were going to go see Brian Beller put on a clinic. Brian Beller is the guy, he plays with Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. He's right now in a band with Guthrie Govan called the Aristocrats. He did all the.
I've heard of that.
The Aristocrats are awesome. He also did all the bass work for the show Metalocalypse. Death Clock, that band. It's a music-based comedy show with a death metal band that's so big they run the world.
That sounds like a very, very specific niche.
But that show is hilarious. But so he's a legendary monster bassist, and then in the middle of his clinic, in walks Victor Wooten. So at 19 years old, I'm surrounded by 4 guys who I look up to immensely, and I've gotten nervous maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. That was one of them. That was nuts. I lost my mind. But yeah, Victor Wooten came in there. He talked to all of us, and Brian talked to all of us. It was super cool. Like, it was a whole beautiful thing. But yeah, so that's my first time meeting Victor. I've met him a few times since then.
That's
rad.
rad.
But yeah, great
Okay,
guy.
this is a complete lark, but have you ever met a guy named Dennis Gowder?
Dennis what?
I think it's Gowder.
Gowder?
I could be wrong. Dennis Gowder. No, it doesn't ring a bell. Guy
sorry.
Dennis, he plays with the Wooten trio from time to time. I assume he's filling in for Victor because he plays bass. I don't know.
Okay, I've probably seen him perform, but white guy?
White guy.
White guy, bald? Yes.
Not bald.
I don't see color, so I wouldn't know.
He carries around, the thing I know him for is everywhere he goes that I have seen him, he carries around a
Pause,
little.
hold on. Carries around what? Everybody guess in the chat.
Wayward Son?
Small cat. Wayward son. Baby with a giraffe's head. Guitar. Okay, proceed.
A bud of the marijuana.
A miniature bass guitar. And he sits
Okay.
there and
No
he
one
just
ever
plays
guessed that.
scales. Like, you're talking to him and he's like, bam.
Bobby says dildo,
He's like this.
obviously.
He's sitting there
I wonder, I might have met him.
and he's just,
Everything's a dildo if
hey
you're brave
man,
enough.
how's it going, dude? Good to see you, bro. And he's just like kind of really high strung,
that
but
sounds
like
really annoying.
really kind. He's the kind of person everybody loves, but he's definitely on his own wavelength. But people like him. But he's just like, oh man, great to see you, dude. How's it going? And he's got this very very southern accent.
Does he play at the Wooden Wednesdays at Rudy's?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Well, I don't know
then-
if it's Rudy's. I think he used to play at Third and Lindsley, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I've probably met him at one of the Wooten Wednesdays, like by proxy. But like
He's-
Okay. Nice.
Hi, dude.
That sounds
But he's like the most.
just so obnoxious, though.
I'm not gonna lie.
he's-
I have a habit of doing. If there's a bass in my hands, I'm going to talk to you, but I am going to be running exercises.
Yeah, Ryan
For him-
does that shit too.
for
and
him-
what that means is I'm playing guitar and not paying attention to this conversation.
No, I do both. I multitask.
That's
I score
physically
the
impossible.
conversation with the guitar.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're just you're John Williamsing it.
I have for
Williams.
sure. I have for
You're
sure
really
been.
putting him on a pedestal.
I've been having a conversation with someone before, and they say something sad, and I'm like, "Oh, minor 6," like, for sure.
You're
important.
playing just that major pentatonic, and all of a sudden you hit the 13 flat.
Oh, but it turned out okay to the one. Yeah, that's me. Scoring our conversations, you're welcome. But anyway, Dennis, Dennis is an amazing bass player. Anyway, that was
Nice.
it. You don't know him, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Wait,
realizing
let's
that
listen
name.
to Lines in the Sky,
Okay.
though.
Yeah, we should watch the video. So
Progressive rock band from Nashville, Tennessee.
Progressive rock. So, a video. So, are you pulling up the
we're gonna do the video. I have
the Nereus video?
yes, I have Nereus up.
Okay, so interesting story about Nereus. Lines has 3 albums out: Hilasterion, Parallel Travel, and Beacon. This track was on Parallel Travel, which is the second album, so it's not me playing the bass on this song. It is my good friend Zach Wakefield, who's the original bassist.
As long as it's
and
not Nick, I think we're
a
okay.
monster. Zach is seriously like I was a huge fan of Lines in the Sky before I joined Lines.
Oh,
I used to
wow.
go to like all their local shows and talk to them. And Bo didn't remember my name for years. Dick.
What a dick! God, he's
But-
practically a Nick.
But yeah, but me and my buddy Chris would talk to Zach like after shows all the time. He's a great guy, great bassist, and he wrote this line, and so they made this music video when they were still doing like promotion stuff for Parallel Travel, but then due to some circumstances that I'm not 100% privy to, it never got released. But we had this like really beautiful music video that we paid a good amount of money, or we say we, now it's we I guess, but that they paid a good amount of money for to release. And at the time, Zach was not in the band, but they didn't have Max, so only Jesse and Bo were in the video. But the storyboard is actually really cool, and there is like a slight political message in it. I'll leave that to you to read how you want to read into it. Very slight.
We're not scared of talking about politics here.
Nice. But yeah, so this video only has 2 members of Lines in the Sky in it because they were still transitioning, trying to find their full-time bassist, which they eventually found in me, so clearly this band's about to die. But yeah, so this got released during the Beacon album cycle, even though it was on Parallel Travel.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna try to make it not cut off. I'm gonna try to keep the technical difficulties to a minimum, but no promises, as always. Because also, we're apparently terrible at this.
I know who Enclave is.
Oh, do you?
It's my buddy Mylan. Of course it's Mylan. Oh, you guys would like him. He's a great guy.
All right, we're gonna
Classic
try this. It might be.
Mylan Mitchie.
I'm gonna try to. Okay, we're trying to make this work. I'm gonna mute us so you guys can watch the video. There might be a little bit of border around it because full screen it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you guys are awesome.
If you want to live forever, build yourself a wall. You will hurt, so make it strong. This is your future. Dream it so you can't wake up. Destiny becomes your love. In the time that you've spent waiting, pieces fall out of your reach. Wait out now and grab the keys. If you don't lose this weakness, you will never walk from your home. There's no room left to go.
meets Pantera. Like it's just gnarly.
I do like.
How do you count some?
I do like some of that.
Depends.
All right. Okay. Ryan didn't break anything. He almost broke everything. Hey, it's the girl who does fire tricks.
Huh?
The
actress
says it's
in
the girl who
video?
does fire tricks. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So thank you very much. You're a beautiful man. I don't care what they say about you.
Floppy Donga said, "That's the motto. No technical difficulties, no promises."
She might be. She's an actress here in town. I can't remember if Jesse and Bo knew her or if they met her through that. I wasn't in the band at the time that they made that video. I was just really kind of surprised that they took it in that kind of marginally like violent direction. Not that it's a violent, bloody video or anything, but the whole video is a really intense chase sequence where you see this hooded like male figure chasing down this woman. Like it's intense, you know.
Yeah. Now,
And-
so you guys know, we can't really hear it when the video's happening.
Yeah,
So-
you could hear a little bit when I pull up. on
I
my
can hear a
phone.
little bit,
You
and
can hear
I
a
saw
little
some of the
Coheed
video.
snippet.
Yeah,
Coheed
but I'll have
snippet.
to. I have to. I didn't get a chance to see the full thing.
Yeah.
You guys know more about it than I do right now.
Yeah, I was just kind of surprised. We, as a band, with our music for the most part, we tried to stray away from getting like political or preachy.
You're not trying to be weird.
Like we're just, I mean,
Not the wrong kind of weird.
yeah, we're a bunch of guys who like to make songs about space with too many notes because we couldn't talk to girls in high school. Like we don't want to like beat someone over the head with a message, but that video. Oh, you can read a couple different things into it. So I actually really like that video. I wish I was more involved with the band when it came out, which I tried getting in contact with Jesse
Wow.
when Zach left many times, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll go get coffee," and it never happened.
Wow. What the hell?
I was also in another band at the time, so it would have been a little tough.
Sounds like you're about 9 bands at a time.
You got to juggle, man. In Nashville, you can't be in one band at a time unless that one band is paying all your bills. Can't do it.
So you're essentially full-time musician.
I'm very
Like
close.
sure. I mean, you do a little on the side, but
Yeah, I still do Lyft on the side. And Lyft is mainly for the slow season. So like during the summer right now, it's gig after gig after gig after gig, and it's great. I'll be playing until 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night and then going and playing in church at like
Wow.
10 the next morning. Stuff like that. Like I love it, you know? It's such a completely antithetical style. But during the slow season, like starting in later fall and going to early spring, the gigs get way thinner.
really,
So it's just, and I don't make quite enough in the summer to be able to, like, full. I mean, I
live the
guess
life you want to live.
I could live on just music, but man, it would be
It'd be tough.
it would
It's
be nothing but like pure ramen noodles and like drinking air for dinner.
You gotta have that beer fund.
Dude, gotta have the beer fund.
What's even the point of living otherwise?
Dude,
Yeah.
if you don't have beer, your life is trash. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear.
Dude, that got real New Jersey for a second.
Yeah, every so often you got this like northeastern
I don't know where that comes from.
New
either,
York thing in your voice.
which is weird. I don't know where that comes from in the slightest.
I mean, you're not that far from there, though, right?
That's
true,
true. It's
but-
real close.
maybe,
few
but
hours.
see, the area I grew up in, it may have been closer to like Jersey and all that, but the area was really weird. My house was very southern. Like so I'm actually related, I believe, to both the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Oh shit, you're
So,
a contradiction.
The real McCoys?
The real ones, like the Hatfields and McCoys who killed each other. So I believe, or maybe it's just Hatfields. So, but like my family's from, my mom's family's from the Tug River Valley area, so they're very southern, very. Even though we grew up kind of close, like the more northeastern places. But and I also had a heavier southern accent when I lived back home, and I kind of lost it when I moved here.
Weird.
And then occasionally living here, like this weird like northeastern thing will pop up. So I don't know if that's because I hang out with people from the northeast, but I don't really a lot. I don't know. It's very strange.
Well, I'll tell you, I got a guy I know. I met him in San Diego, but he is from Virginia. I don't know where. Maybe Raleigh,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but I'm not really sure. That could be completely wrong. But Virginia, and there's a lot of things in the way he talks that I hear in your voice as well.
Weird.
Things that I don't know if I would have said, because I don't know that I have a good reference for what Virginians sound like.
Yeah.
But so I might have just said, "Oh, that's how Caleb talks," but I'm hearing it in your voice, where I'm like, "Oh yeah, those are really similar." Except for when you switch to your like New York, New Jersey voice, and
New
that's like a whole
Jersey,
different
okay,
deal.
that's a different thing.
Yeah,
There's
Jersey
New York
is-
and there's New Jersey. That's like a little New Jersey-ish, you know what I mean?
I also will like emphasize
Sure.
that for like comedic effect. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I do say y'all a lot.
See,
Did
I
you
grew up
always?
saying y'all.
Huh? Always. I've always said y'all growing
See,
up.
my
That was
family's from
different.
Texas. I'm born and raised California. My whole generation in my family was, but before
Yeah.
that they were from Texas. So I grew up saying y'all.
Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And which is weird because people in
such a
California
useful
call you
pronoun.
out on it.
Really?
Like many times my people have been like, "You just say y'all? What are you, some hick?"
You
I'm like, I
podunk.
grew up with y'all.
But
Yeah.
not anymore.
No.
Now you're surrounded by it. Now it's okay.
Now it's okay, but what's weird is I've only been here 6 months, and when I talk with certain people, I feel like I talk with more of an accent. I don't mean to do it. It
just
kind of
how it
comes out.
goes. Just
And I'm
how it
like,
goes.
man, I just sounded like a hick. Like, I just
No, my buddy Caleb, who's also from Virginia, I've heard him say, I don't know if he never says y'all, but I have many times heard him say you all. Is that a Virginia
Interesting.
thing? Do you know
You
that
all.
at all?
See, in
ever
my
heard
my
yins?
area, everyone says y'all. No one says yins.
yeah.
Everyone says y'all. Like that's a thing. But see, I also have like a really weird gauge because the area I grew up in doesn't make a lot of sense. So like my friend group growing up was black. Like I had white friends, obviously. I still have really close white friends from back
And why
home.
does that not make sense?
Well, because I
Wow.
grew,
Just
kidding.
I grew up in a mile-long driveway
Now,
in the
wait.
woods. Like,
How
where
would you
does-
even know they were black if you don't see color?
You're the one who said it on see color.
I'm trying to help you out.
Jerry, I would just like to let you know that from what I gather, most African Americans don't prefer the phrase "I don't see color" because they think it's bullshit.
No, it's just like
That
a
was
lot-
90s cool. That was 90s PC. Nowadays that's
just
racist as
racist.
shit. Yeah, so you were
I
racist.
only see color.
Tell us more about
Yeah.
your only black friends, you kind, politically correct man.
Well, it's just really weird that I grew up in like my
A
the
rural
first-
area you don't associate as much with African Americans.
right, but the rural area I grew up in backed right up next to a predominantly black area. So the high school I went to was like a weird conglomeration of a lot of different like just groups of people. Like we had this neighborhood that had like NFL players living in it that would feed their kids in this high school. Then you also had these like poor white rural kids, and then you had these poor black kids, and it was just like a really weird mix. And the weirdest thing was that like you never had like white kids fighting black kids in the school. Like the black kids fought black kids and white kids fought white kids. And it was
the
the weirdest
Mexicans
thing.
fought the Somalians.
There were no Mexicans.
Those were the big gangs in my school. The
Gotcha.
Mexicans, the Somalians.
There was a very tiny Hispanic population and a very tiny Asian population. Just tiny. It was predominantly black and white. But my friends growing up were all like a lot of the black kids were the guys that I was on drumline with. A lot of guys that I was in music classes with. A lot of the guys that I would play music with, I would go to church with, were like the black guys. I don't know why, just was.
Yeah,
I tend to get
explains why you're in you did R&B or do R&B.
Yeah, like those guys introduced me to Jill Scott and Erykah Badu and like playing in church. I think I'm like, oh, am I? Okay, I am. I like freaked out. Didn't think I was reading, but I am. Yeah, and it was really interesting that I grew up in this rural area, but then my friends would come over and we'd play A Long Walk by Jill Scott on repeat. You know, and we do like Latin versions of John Mayer tunes, just weird crap like that. So it was just, I don't know, it was weird. It was a lot of fun though. I had a great childhood. I had a lot of fun. So my friends would come over, my mom would make us food and make us green Kool-Aid, where you mix the clear green pack and the regular green pack to create your own flavor with 2 cups of sugar because we want to die.
I think that's just the standard amount for Kool-Aid, though.
It kind of is, yeah. Kool-Aid calls for a lot of sugar. Well, yeah. It was just, I don't know. How did we get here?
Kool-Aid, man. Kool-Aid.
We just ride this train till it's
Yeah,
done.
but no, it was a lot of fun. A lot of my friends like from back home, like my buddy Tyler Thrift. Oh, he said if I don't mention him in this podcast, he's gonna be very upset. So Tyler Thrift, you're looking like a snack.
Consider yourself mentioned.
He just got a job right out of culinary school, as I think a sous chef in an Asian restaurant in New York City.
That sounds cool.
So he's doing really well. My buddy Josh.
Do you know what a
is
sous chef
amazing.
is?
Sous chef is basically like the line prep chef, right?
So I didn't
Is it?
know.
I think.
I only kind of know still. I
Okay.
just, well, back when I drove Lyft and Uber, I drove a sous chef, and I said, what is that, though? And it's essentially the second in command chefs. It's not the head chef, it's the next people down, but they're like, there's a bunch of them. It's not like one guy.
Oh.
It's like,
Okay.
he's not the guy who does like the fancy shit, but it's like the guys who like really make the food.
So I don't think that's what he is, because he just got out of culinary school.
Also,
so,
I could be completely wrong, as this was like 3 years ago, some like dude in my car told me.
gotcha. See, I wish I knew more about. I
Yeah.
should just call him.
I just
and
hear
ask
that
him.
term a lot, sous chef, and I was
Yeah.
like,
See, I thought sous chef was like prep, but there might be like a different term. I just don't. I clearly don't know enough about cooking. I eat like a dumpster fire,
I believe you mean like a barrel fire.
a barn barrel fire. Unless my girlfriend cooks for me, and she is a champ. Always eating good at her place. The first meal she made for me was like pesto salmon and like red pepper broccoli or some kind of spicy broccoli dish. It was amazing.
Spicy broccoli dish.
Dude, it was awesome. It sounds simple, and it was simple, but it was great.
It does sound good.
See, none of us in our house are cooks, really.
No.
Gotcha.
But I make some pretty good sandwiches. Though.
I'm the best cook in the house by far.
Nice.
I don't know if that's true. I've never tasted your food. You've never made me any.
You have before, just not when we lived together.
When?
Like when you used to come over, me and Corinne lived together, and you come over and eat all the food, and Corinne would be all mad. She's like, "You ate all the leftovers."
I never ate anything you made. I made my own damn food at your house.
That's some bullshit.
I made your own food at your house, and then I.
That's called microwaving my food.
Microwave.
And it wasn't pre-made, bruh. I had to make it.
See, I will say this: I can grill. That I can
grill.
do. I can
See, I
grill.
feel like
well.
I can't grill it. I'm okay,
I can't do anything else. I can make like a peanut butter jam sandwich, a bowl of cereal, and I can grill.
but see, a lot of people say they can grill. Okay,
Fair.
now
I can grill, and I don't make everything well done because I'm not pleb trash.
well, that's good.
Nothing should be well done.
So when you
Probably,
say
yeah,
you
Except for
can
chicken.
grill,
I mean, chicken should be cooked all the way
it
through.
shouldn't be pink.
no, I like chicken rare. So when you say you can grill, what you really mean is you can tell when a piece of meat is the proper amount of done. Because you
like-
throw it on there and close the lid. Or sometimes you don't close the
It
lid.
depends. Like if you're doing like a veggie kebab, or if you're doing like chicken or salmon, or like beef. There's different things, and you can tell like if someone wants it. You know, you do the thumb trick, depending on
Sure,
how
yeah, you
well
feel the
someone wants it
different,
done.
whatever. Yeah.
You know, you have like rare, and then you have medium, the medium well.
So you're fondling all these steaks.
You poke them with your finger, but as soon as someone asks for well done, you ask them politely yet firmly to leave, because I don't deal with trash.
That's
But
true.
yeah, I mean, grilling's not hard. Like it's really not. You're right. It is basically telling like when.
Don't
meat is
downplay it.
done.
You're a professional.
No, no. My buddy Chris is a professional.
Okay.
He has a smoker. He has like the full works, dude. It's not a green egg. It's like the green egg competitor.
Like and ham.
Huh?
What?
No, the smoker. You ever heard of the green egg smoker?
No.
It looks like a green egg, basically, and you set charcoal in it and whatnot, and you light it on fire, and it smokes everything on top of grilling it, and it's incredible.
that's
And then
cool.
there's this one that has some name that starts with a K that I can't pronounce. That is awesome. And Chris will like throw steaks on there. We'll go spend $5 at Kroger, whatever, get a decent cut of steak, and he cooks like this champ ass meal. It's great. I like having friends who can cook.
I haven't grilled in a long time. We don't have a grill here. 'Cause we
Well,
live in a
there's a
small apartment.
there's a grill at our apartments.
No, it's not a public grill.
But it's a grill.
It's a grill of the people who they put it in front of their
Nah,
apartment.
There's public grills at our apartments.
Those like open face charcoal ones.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most apartment complexes do
I gotta
those.
be honest. I'm saying yep very confidently. I'm 65 to 70% sure that I've seen one. We'll check tonight.
If you use those, make sure you put aluminum foil down first.
Right. So you
You don't know
see-
what they were cooking beforehand. You don't know if they undercooked chicken and that thing is festering in salmonella.
Makes me very confident to use these grills.
Just aluminum foil.
But if you
You'll
put
be
the
good.
aluminum foil, then you're not really getting that. It's not the same.
I mean, you can poke holes in the aluminum foil. Just like get foil like on
Okay.
just on the iron parts.
Liz likes her steak well done.
Ew.
Hey, Liz, it's been really great getting to know you over the term of this podcast, but you need to
Floppy said-
remediate your steak choices.
Floppy said, then heat up a flip flop. Maybe the best response to that.
That's so true, though. There it is. There's your well done steak.
That's right, Liz. I understand. You're only 17. You haven't learned yet.
It's got my
I will
foot
say
all
this: at
over
17, I did like well done.
Yeah, when I was younger, I
'Cause
thought.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Hell no. From,
Maybe not 17,
from my
maybe like
earliest
14.
from my earliest childhood, I
Yeah, you
observed
grew up
that
in a
the
family
best
of
people knew-
hunters, and
That's true. I knew
Shit.
that medium rare was the right way to go.
Dude, thank you. Right here,
Yeah.
medium rare. It's where it's
perfect.
at.
Since a child.
My my sister, one of her in-laws, will like straight up stab steak on a fork, wave it over a fire about 7 or 8 times, and go for it.
it's just like it's warm.
I'm like, what is wrong with it? I'm sure the flavor's
crazy.
incredible, but I am not
At
that
that
ballsy.
point, I don't think you're tasting steak. You're just
crazy.
tasting blood.
Which
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably delicious.
Now hold on. Have you ever had, have you ever had blood
Delicious,
sausage
delicious blood.
Okay, so I've heard
or
of
blood pudding?
I've heard of, now blood pudding's that black stuff that like
It's
that the
which is
Irish eat?
mainly congealed blood.
really
congealed
that's like
lamb's
that's like an
blood.
English
That's like an
thing,
Irish
right?
thing, isn't it?
I think it's English.
It's
I think
somewhere
it's English.
somewhere over there.
But I
I've
might be
had
wrong.
something like that at some sort of Irish pub type thing in New York when I was young.
Gotcha.
Before I could drink, we went to New York and I couldn't go out to the bars with everybody. Me and my
so you ate
underage
blood.
friends went and had blood. Yeah,
See, I'm
vampiric.
That sounds so nasty. I understand like every part of the buffalo, but that's too far.
well. I mean, you gotta have some. What do they call it? Rocky Mountain oysters?
I don't like oysters.
Ooh, have never tried.
No,
No.
Well, Rocky Mountain oysters aren't oysters. They're bull testicles.
Oh yeah, I'm not down for that.
When I was in Bozeman. I saw on the menu that they had a Rocky Mountain oyster dish, and I was like, man, am I this ballsy? And I was not. I got a burger.
They are bowl scroticulars.
As long as it's not the bull fluffy tongas.
Too far. Too
I
far.
mean, that's like a Native American thing, though, is to use every single part.
Yeah,
of the
every
bull.
part of the buffalo, whatever. Yeah,
Every part. Respect the animal. Respect the kill.
but I'm about to eat no fucking buffalo balls. Like, I also don't want to drink their blood. It gets weird.
That's why you cook the blood out.
One thing we have not talked about at all
Oh boy.
Wow, the whole topic we haven't talked about at this point.
that you reported on your questionnaire.
Oh, that's right.
Because
We
Music
do
Row
send
Hideout
them a questionnaire,
does have a questionnaire.
and we
Yeah.
totally follow the format of what that implies.
No, there's no format.
I
but
did that questionnaire like, you know what? I'm like, no.
No, yeah, let's do it. I want to hear it.
I was half drunk, like, cause you texted me. I was like, I need to do this. I was like, I'm gonna do this like right now. I think I was watching like Westworld.
I know you had just gotten home from your girlfriend's parents.
That's what it was
for the first time.
For the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
So it's
It
like,
went really well, which was nice.
good.
They're like the nicest people on the planet, and the food. Oh, dude, the food was unreal.
Well, it was southern food. Are they from here?
No, they're from Atlanta.
Okay.
We went to Atlanta and just
Oh,
it was delicious. A wide variety of
don't
all
know
sorts of
what's
things. Pretty like southern paste, but
Okay.
everything was delicious. Her dad underestimated my level of like spice tolerance, and so he brought up
Tried to
this.
hurt you.
He tried. He brought up this stuff that he was like, because apparently her mom is like a huge spice fiend as well. So we brought up this hot sauce that she'll eat, but he's like her dad has only seen her mom eat it and like not freak out. And so of course I had to go champ level, and I like put a big old dollop on my plate, took a sausage and like ran it through and ate it. I was like, yeah, no, it's good. And he was like, what is wrong with you? 'Cause now
You're a broken man.
what he didn't know was on the inside, I was like, this is hot. But my pride was like, nope.
Like sweating bullets. Like this is fine.
I didn't sweat. I didn't like have the snot come out. But it was
you
hot.
held the sweat back.
It was the level of like a damn hot at Hetty B's. So it was hot.
I've not tried damn hot.
I haven't gotten above hot.
I've tasted hot.
more than plenty.
Just whenever if you go get like the tender meal and get like 2 of what you
you
regular.
can get like one tender of like $2 or something.
Or you can just get because they get 3 tenders. You can get 2 tenders of regular and then get like 1 damn hot.
I like. It's hard. I wish I had like a medium plus.
You know what? I'll go with you. I'll order my usual, which is either hot
I'll
or
just try a
damn
little,
hot.
little sliver.
Yeah, and you can just have a sliver of mine. How's that?
I'm down for that. I'm down for that
cool.
for
You
sure.
down?
Some damn hot. Yeah, I'm down.
Liz
Now, if
says
you
they
guys
have
go-
entire festivals for eating animal testicles here.
What?
Like in Tennessee, I know she lives in Rutherford County.
Oh, not far at all.
Yeah, so when she says here, she means here.
Oh, shoot. Man, I'm not sure if I'm that.
I'm not down for that.
I mean, it's just meat, though, right?
No, it's not. It's different.
I'd go to the festival though.
I mean, think
I'd
about
just go to the
see.
festival.
just to watch all the other people eating nuts. I mean, just think about.
Yo, you put it in enough hot sauce, I'll eat it.
So you want to eat some hot nuts?
Dude, I want to eat
God, you
the
definitely
hottest,
injected that marijuana.
I want to eat the hottest, fattest nuts, dude. I want to smonk those meats.
Oh God, it only gets worse.
So here's the topic from that
So the
questionnaire
questionnaire.
The questionnaire.
that we've not talked about.
Yes.
That might be a treasure trove.
Might be.
You mentioned that you're a bit of a cinephile,
Yeah.
which means you like movies.
Oh, is that what that means? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes. I've always been really fascinated with everything that goes into making movies, the technical side of things, the storyboard side of things, the directorial side of things, just the acting side of things. Like, it's so many different artistic talents that come to create this one cohesive unit that is really cool. Horror specifically. Horror is like my jam.
Whores.
I like all them hooers. No. Horror films. I love it in comedy.
Okay.
But yeah, I am a little bit. I'm not as much as, say, like my roommate. My roommate can go down and be like, oh yeah, they use this camera on this da-da-da-da-da on this scene. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I am a little bit.
So what favorite movies? Top films? Top 3,
Favorite
top 5?
films of all time, Lord of the Rings. So that also goes back to me being a huge fantasy dork.
We gotta pick one.
If I had to pick one, Fellowship. Fellowship.
I'm down with that. That's the best one.
Fellowship just did such a good job of creating this. Like they really captured the essence of the books. Now, granted, they obviously cut a few things out. You didn't have.
All the boring 20 pages of landscape descriptions. You're right. Because those were the most
Well,
boring
you
books
didn't
I've
have the
ever read.
Tom Bombadil stuff. You didn't have the whole Force of the Shire. You didn't have a lot of the white stuff. WIGHT, not the color.
We don't
And
see
the whole movie was white as shit.
There weren't enough songs. There weren't enough songs.
They cut out a lot of stuff like that, but they also had to. The initial two stories that divides that takes over, I think, like 40 or 50 years. Because like you have when Frodo gets the ring, and then it goes way later because he's had the ring for decades. By the time he finally goes off to Mordor, so it's a whole. They couldn't show all that, but Howard Shore did such a good job scoring that film. Like you hear do 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 do. You hear that and you instantly think Shire. I mean, it's incredible. And he also got his start in horror films, by the way. That was his like thing before he got the Lord of the Rings gig. And Peter Jackson just did a great job of really faithfully bringing about the spirit of the books and adapting it to film as much
So
as
you read
he
the books, I
possibly
take
could.
it.
Every summer from the time I was in 6th grade till I went off to college, when I
Oh.
gave my copies to my niece.
So you liked them.
A little bit. I was also...
You read all 3 every summer?
every summer.
What is that
God,
the only
that's
thing
like
you did all
torture.
summer?
I read... One thing I do besides music is I read quickly. Like
you read
I-
a lot of fantasy?
Not a lot of fantasy, but I read that a lot, and then I read I read Harry Potter insanely.
Sure.
I was at the midnight premieres of movies 2 through 8 and of books 4 through 7. I'm with my mom. My mom and I dressed up and all
I went
the
to
works.
the midnight premiere of the book 7 as well.
Nice.
Kind of randomly. I didn't mean to.
Oh, gotcha. No, I meant to. The moment the pre-orders
Oh.
were available, my mother got me and my good friend one.
I had just finished reading 6.
Was the real chosen one?
Was your chosen one? I don't know. Was it Neville or was it Harry?
It was Neville. Everyone knows it was Neville.
But see, it could have been Neville. But see, the chosen one was really decided by whether Voldemort chose to go after the Potters or whether he chose himself to go after the Longbottom.
Well, it's not who after he goes after. It's who actually took down Voldemort, which was Neville.
Neville took down,
The snake. The
Nagini.
last Horcrux,
He took
which
down
made an
Nagini.
opening for...
but yeah, but then Harry was the one who actually delivered the final blow to Voldemort. Yes, Neville took out a part of Nagini, but you also have to remember the part he took out of Nagini was only roughly 1/7 of Voldemort's soul. So it was a very small portion.
But it was
There
the most
a-
important part because it was the last part.
Was it though, or was Harry dying the most important part?
I think that's debatable.
In what way?
Because I thought it was kind of like a cheat in writing.
How so?
Because he didn't die.
He didn't die, but you have to remember when he went to King's Cross Station in the Death Afterlife.
Yes.
there were 2 souls in there that could have died. And at that point, Harry could have gone on.
Sure.
But he decided to come back because the killing curse of Vada Kedavra only really targeted 1 soul at a time. It couldn't kill 2 people at once. So it had to take out either the Horcrux, which was the bloody fetus, basically, or it could take out Harry.
Which is the obvious choice what you're going to pick because it's a bloody fetus.
You'd hope.
And you're like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, Harry Potter is not high fantasy. It's not, extraordinarily plot hole-less fantasy. What J.K. Rowling really succeeded in was world building. I mean, at least to me.
No, she did do good, but it's hard to compare her when you're talking about. I feel like there's so many others who have built better world.
There are. Like, you look at George R. R. Martin. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan as well. Champ level world building.
What about Robert Jordan? Do you know Robert Jordan? Wheel of Time series?
Oh, The Wheel of Time. I'm familiar. I haven't read it.
You should.
But I am familiar.
It's
I've
the
read
best.
that. My roommate is a huge R.A. Salvatore fan.
Okay, yeah.
Which I'm going to read for a while because R.A. Salvatore
That's a whole other
also,
thing. That's like a way different.
It's a very different style of fantasy. But yeah, he also wrote the storyline to The Witcher. At least the original Witcher, didn't he?
Really? I never played through all the Witchers.
I believe, now don't quote me on this because I could be totally wrong, but I think Sam, my roommate, told me that R.A. Salvatore wrote the story for The Witcher.
That's crazy.
Initially. Now, I haven't read any of Salvatore's
You heard it here
works.
first.
I haven't read any of Salvatore's works. I haven't played The Witcher. I
played a little The Witcher. I haven't played a lot, but I
heard
do
it's
know the
really
stories
cool.
are known to be amazing.
Yeah, I've heard they're awesome. I need to play them. We're talking
You can buy
about
them on the Steam sale right now for like 20 cents.
Yeah, right. We're talking about Steam and CD Projekt Red and all the different hosting services. Their games, that developer, I can't remember what developer that makes the Witcher series, but they were initially, I think, only on CD Projekt Red. And now they're on Steam as well, I think. Or am I wrong on that?
When
You might know more
I
about
bought
that
the
than me.
first Witcher, I bought it at GameStop. So I don't know.
Way back when, yeah. Back when GameStop was still a
And then I
relevant
just
store.
recently, about 6 months ago, bought all of them because it was like $5 on the Steam sale. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Totally fair. But yeah, so I'm a little bit of a fantasy dork.
But Wheel of Time, if you got to read it.
I know, I need to.
Here's the deal.
I've
with
been
Wheel of Time.
recommended that so many times.
First of all, it's the best series ever written. Second of all, Lord of the Rings is boring as fuck. Third of all, I can't get through those books. They're so boring.
That's the point, though, and that's what he did.
That's not a good point.
But see, the point, there was a lot of other
is the
stuff.
point?
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff going on, but especially when you were going through the Frodo and Sam parts, they're just trudging along.
Sure,
They're
but that's
just-
fine. That's not what bothered me. What bothered me was the long, many-page, excessive descriptions of rolling hills. There were so many rolling hills, and they all had unique aspects that must be explained.
Now let me ask you
I-
this:
I really
how far
enjoyed
did you get?
One time only. So here's the deal. Okay,
This is a very easy question. How far did you get?
it's not easy because I switched it up because I've tried it 4 times.
Okay.
The first time I got through Fellowship.
Oh,
Okay.
also, The Hobbit was part of my yearly reading.
Well, The Hobbit's amazing.
So it's
that's different.
Hobbit.
That's a whole other category. Hobbit's amazing.
Hobbit's a different story for sure.
Second time
Great
and
book,
third
terrible
time.
movie.
Yeah, terrible movie.
Oh my!
There's a whole. Yeah,
What movies?
they don't exist.
I don't exist.
The second and third times I got halfway through the Fellowship and couldn't handle it because it was so awful. And then the last time I started with the 2 Towers, I'm like, I already read Fellowship. Let me just maybe it'll get better.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Wow.
You think it didn't get better because you were a pleb, but anyways.
I got through Fellowship and the 2 Towers,
Sure.
so I'm better than you. That's all.
Here's the thing. That's
But
also.
did you get through Return of the King?
Did you even read the
No.
Silmarillion?
I did not read
haven't-
Return of the
okay,
King, and
I
here's
tried
why.
to read through the Silmarillion.
Return of the King came out right after I finished 2 Towers,
Okay.
and I wanted to read
I
Return
don't know
of
if
the
we
King.
can talk about
bad.
that Lines
I
in the
had
Sky.
it,
It's so bad.
and then the movie came out, and of course I was going to go see that when it premiered. And once
Have
I
fun,
saw
Floppy.
the
Happy birthday.
movie, it sort of just was enough that I didn't feel the desire anymore to go and dive into another book.
And the movies were
It's sorta-
amazing.
It satisfied me enough.
Gorgeous. Yeah. The movies are really like to me they're so perfect. I love them.
The extended editions were a little much.
See, I find the extended editions perfect, but I'm also like, I'm a fan, and I know that not everyone likes this, and this is not a perfect movie make, but like the excessive level of detail that the extended edition is going to go into, like the larger panning shots, the larger establishing shots, things of that nature, where you can really like get the depth of the world. Like that's such a cool thing for me. And so that's what the extended editions had in spades, and like little dialogue moments and little character moments. So I know that's not for everybody. It definitely is.
It's just a little too much.
But I really enjoyed it.
No, besides Lord of the Rings, though,
Yeah.
what else in movies? And I guess Harry Potter we covered as well.
I
I
did
really-
love
You're
it.
trying to
really
talk about
glad that-
movies. We're just talking about books at this point.
I'm really,
we don't
I'm
have
really,
time though.
I'm really glad that you guys went after my. I had the perfect little. I know what he already thinks about Neville, and so I was just like threw that
Neville's
out
the
there.
true
and you
chosen
guys- I just threw out a little piece of meat, and you guys fought over it like vicious wild dogs. It was amazing. I'm on the hairy side myself, but you know,
What up? Right here.
That's because
standard.
you're a noob.
So, okay, but other than those two, what other movies? What?
Let's see. You know, another movie that I am really late to the party, but I actually enjoyed immensely was Infinity War, which I did not expect to enjoy. I hate how comics get so out of control and become these massive galaxy-ending
perfect solution.
storylines. Well, like,
Hold
like
on.
in terms of
Spoiler alert, because we might be talking some weird shit here. And if you haven't seen the movie, you're a bad person, and I don't feel sympathy for us spoiling it for you.
Yeah, massive spoiler alert. But that movie did it well. Thanos, like, he was a madman.
One of the best villains of
clearly.
all time.
He was great. I still think Killmonger might be my favorite
Ooh,
villain.
that's hard because Killmonger is really good.
But it's between Vulture, Killmonger, and Thanos, which, hilariously enough, are some of the three most recent villains.
Is Vulture the new Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vulture.
See, I was
dude,
like, eh.
See, the reason I loved Vulture is...
Now hold on, Vulture based on like everything you know and everything, or
I'm
Vulture
going
based on
based-
the movie exclusively.
Oh, I'm talking only movies.
Okay,
Because I don't know enough of
I
comic
grew up in the
book lore.
cartoons. I never read the comics.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm not even talking cartoons. I'm talking
Okay.
purely movie
That movie,
motivations.
okay.
Yeah, that.
See, I thought he was eh.
See, I loved it because the thing I love about like a good created villain is that they're not some maniacal, chaotic, evil thing. They're like, I'm evil for evil's sake.
What about the Joker though?
That we can get there.
Okay, just making sure.
No, he was.
Drew, you
incredible.
gotta let somebody finish a topic before you bring up the
bring up
whole
all the
other
topics.
topic.
I'm there for sure. But the thing I loved about the Vulture was that he was just a regular blue collar guy trying to make his money, trying to do an honest day's work, and then the Department of what do they call it? in the
I don't
movie?
know. Shield. It was Shield, pretty much.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, it was like a branch of like
Yeah.
Department of Disaster Control
Right.
or something like that.
Justice League.
They came in and totally took this guy's form of income away. Even though he had already been promised, he had already written up all the contracts, he did everything he was supposed to do as a law-abiding citizen, and then they took that away.
So he
And he's
was
like,
forced into his villain.
yeah, he's like, I've got to provide for my family, and I get that, man. You got to support your kid, you got to support your wife. If someone yanks out your means of income out from under you, what are you going to do to make cash quick? You're going to do some illegal, shady things.
And story-wise, his story was good.
Yeah, his
But
story
how he
really
was actually
cool.
how he actually played the character and how the character was portrayed from that point on, I felt it was just like a one-dimensional bad guy.
Oh, really? See, I don't know. I really liked him, but then Killmonger blew my mind because at the end of the day, I was like,
He's kind of right.
I was like, not kind of right.
Like I agree with him.
He's like, he was totally right. He's like, people are being subjugated all over the world, our people, and you are sitting here with the means to do something about it and doing absolutely nothing.
Now
In that regard,
his
he
methods
made-
were
Yeah,
a little rough.
He was inciting violence, and not to get too terribly political, but I'm like a pretty hardcore pacifist.
Yeah.
So I don't like. Obviously, I'm not going to be on the. I don't want someone to incite violence, but like, almost at a certain point, like you're almost like you could almost side with Killmonger over Black Panther, almost.
Yeah, I mean,
Except
it's real
Killmonger didn't
close.
realize that T'Challa was going to open up to the world and try to help people out.
Was he though? Or
And here's
was
the
that
big
what
difference.
was that what convinced him?
Killmonger didn't have honor, and the Black Panther had honor.
That was the big thing.
difference.
But then you had to think about it. Killmonger was never even given the chance to have honor. His father was taken away with him in the middle of what's that community called? Where are the Raiders at?
Oh, Oakland.
Oakland. He was in the middle of Oakland in like what was it, the early '90s, and his father was taken away, and they never explained what happened to his mother. So he was basically left to fend for his own. He never even had the chance to develop a code of honor. He had to develop a way to survive quickly. And so it's not even really fair. T'Challa had every single opportunity to grow up as a man of honor, as a man of integrity, because of his position in Wakanda, his position in the world. So of course he, as long as he was raised correctly, he was going to be a good man. His father,
I just
T'Chaka,
love you got
was a
all
good
the
man.
you got all the terms. You know all the names. I'm like
Black
the
Panther
Black
was one of my
Panther.
favorite movies I've seen in a long time. It was incredible. But that and then, so it's almost
But
like
Thanos. We were on the topic of Thanos.
yeah. Now Thanos, on the other hand, what he wants to do is vile. He wants to kill half of the universe, but what he wants to do it for is to, basically maximize the amount of resources that the universe has, which you could then get into the whole comics thing with the Celestials and the Elders and Defiance and all that sort of stuff, where they could basically create enough resources, but they don't really go into that in the movies. It's one reason why I hate comics. There's always some Deus Ex Machina in comics, and it drives me nuts. But Thanos, what he was trying to do was an altruistic thing. He was trying to maximize the amount of resources that the universe had, or the galaxy, I should say, had. He was trying to, but he was trying to do it by killing half the people. Instead of finding a way to maybe, genetically engineer more fruitful crops or more things of that nature.
But
He instead-
motherfuckers hate genetically engineered things.
Yeah, they can hate genetically engineered fruit all they want, but it gives me a fat ass tomato. They give me one pizza out of one tomato. I'm gonna take it. Obviously, there's a whole argument to be made about like tampering with food and putting things in food that don't need to be. But if you can find a way to, like, specifically grow larger plants, better yielding crops that aren't as hard on the soil, things like that, or crop rotations. How George Washington Carver would, I think it was cycling out tobacco and peanuts. I feel like tobacco was really tough on the soil and peanuts was really easy when it came to grow, and then they could grow more tobacco and make more money, and then they could grow more peanuts and da-da-da-da-da. There are things like that that you can do that Thanos wasn't fully taken into effect, but he was still a really compelling villain. Like at least when he, spoilers, chucked Gamora off the cliff, like he was sad. He hated what he had to do. He was killing his favorite daughter, which is kind of messed up that he had a favorite daughter. And
But
he
the
was
other one
told-
was an android that he
About
also
to say,
tortured and
well,
created.
She wasn't an android.
Right, she was a
in
regular
this.
person, and then whenever Gamora failed at something,
Yeah.
she would rip part of her body off and replace it with a robot person.
Yeah, every time Nebula would fail and Gamora would succeed, he would place another part of Nebula with another piece of tech. So he tortured her way before he was actually torturing her.
Yeah.
So he's not a good guy. Not a good
No.
guy. But he was still like, there was still some moral ambiguity there, which I think makes for a way
And you
better villain.
understood why.
To a point, yeah.
Even if,
So-
even if he was wrong.
Yeah, he was
He
still
was
trying
completely
to,
wrong, to
Yeah,
be fair,
so-
because his method wouldn't even work. 'cause
genocide
within two
is
generations,
a
you'd replace that
heinous
population.
thing. That's why like everyone remembers, or not remembers, but everyone like talks down about any genocide, regardless of when it is. You got the Armenian genocide, you got Nazis, you got Stalin, you got Mao. All those guys are talked down. But yeah,
I think the most interesting thing to me about yawning is that the conversation of villains, and I just feel like it's been more prevalent since Killmonger, is just like, it seems like what people consider a good villain is somebody that they feel like they understand their motives to an extent, or they make sense. Like they have a story, rather than somebody like a Dr. Evil. It's like, why are you trying to kill everybody? And it's just because they're maniacal. And so what I think is interesting about these stories is if you think about it philosophically, like it brings up a really interesting conversation about, I'm just having a hard time putting the words together here, but like, why is Killmonger wrong at the end of the day? Or why is Thanos wrong at the end of the day? And I think within us, each individual person, within myself, there are plenty of times that I might do something and I feel like I have a very good explanation of why I need to do this thing. But so did all of these bad guys, right? From these movies. And so it makes it really interesting to think like, okay, well, what is I don't know, you could get really broad and be like, what is the nature of right and wrong? Or just look at like, I think it's what I like about it is the idea that it would cause society to question, like, hey, there's so many of us that are on such opposite sides of the scale on all sorts of different things, and I think it's good to look at, like, you might have a very good reason for why you're doing what you're doing, but it might still be wrong. And you might need to look at your life and say, just because I have a good reason doesn't mean that I can act this way. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm being very vague. I don't mean it to be specific, but
right, but like that level of moral ambiguity, even if you take someone as infamous as like Darth Vader in Star Wars. Now, my band is probably about to crucify me because they're way bigger Star Wars fans than I am. Hardcore. So they're going to know a lot more of these details. But Darth Vader, his initial mission, at least from what started in episode 3, technically, and then went on through the original trilogy, 4,
We
5,
don't
and
consider
6.
that canon.
Huh?
1, 2, and 3 are not canon in my mind.
I like episode 3. I like the tail end of episode 3, I should say. I thought
You mean
it
like
was
where they just like slammed a bunch of shit together to connect into the next movie?
I'm also not like a massive Star Wars fan, so there's that as well.
Lines in the Sky says, don't do this, Ben.
But like Darth Vader's motivations, where he wanted like peace and balance, and he thought he was the one to bring the
balance
peace
to the
and
Force,
balance.
sure.
Bring balance makes sense. He's also been told his entire life, "You are the chosen one. You are the one
Sure,
who's going to
according
bring
to the prequels,
balance."
sure.
Well, sure. There's also that. So whether you trust the prequels or not, but there's also all of that. So
You know what? Lines in the Sky. You can go fuck yourself, all right?
What
So
did
the
he say? What did
prequels
he
are
say?
gospel.
That's probably Nick typing at this point.
God damn it, Nick, you're so whack.
No, I know the guys in my band do not like the prequels that much, so they're definitely trolling at this point.
I enjoyed the prequels when they happened when I was,
I just had to rewatch
13.
them though.
They were the first movie I ever saw in theater. Episode 1 was.
Wait, how
Whoa.
old were you?
I'm
25.
25.
25.
I didn't go.
Oh right, you lived in the woods like a
you were
That's
like
right. I
you were
forgot.
like
that was
9?
actually before I moved out to the woods.
You were like 9 years old-ish?
No, I was like 6.
He said, "Yeah, it's Nick."
Because I was
We
in
knew it. We
kindergarten.
could tell by the level of whack that it was Nick.
It's Nick.
I was in kindergarten when those movies came out. Because remember, I went to my buddy Sam Brazil's birthday party at the local ghetto as crap freaking movie theater. Oh yeah.
Well, sorry. I'm just changing your mic.
Oh,
Better sound.
Okay, hopefully. Now it's not. Now it's looking like it's not reading me. Oh, now it is. Okay, cool. I remember I was in kindergarten because I went to my buddy Sam Brazil's party in kindergarten to go watch it, and I got pod racer little like glasses and a little thing. So it had to be in kindergarten. But I don't know. I also have memory issues, so I could be wrong. I don't know.
Who doesn't?
Fair. But like I enjoyed Vader's motivations. Like they made more sense to me.
Wait, what were his
You mean
motivations?
Anakin's motivations?
Or Anakin's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess. Anakin's motivations in the prequels would have made for a great movie if it was executed way better. Way better. The
Sure.
execution was very lackluster. Which I
Sure.
don't think was entirely either Jake Lloyd's or Hayden Christensen's fault.
Well, to be fair, Hayden Christensen did a terrible job.
And to be fair,
Yeah,
Jake
but
Lloyd
I
was
also-
6. It can't be his fault.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I don't blame him. I think for
Yeah,
him
yeah.
being, I don't like kid actors at all. I think he did okay.
Yeah, but
I
think
thought the
for-
first one was the best one.
I did love Anakin drop and that initial beef right away with Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul. And then
Dude,
the,
that fight though.
and then the Darth
fight?
Maul Qui-Gon Obi fight. Dude. Oh, so good. It's so nasty.
Dude, that's
man.
that's the coolest fight.
Dude, it's so cool. When he just pew, and the second one comes out, you're like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he's got
Oh,
the
dude.
double.
Consider the shit lost. But yeah, well, so Anakin's motivations, we'll just go there. They made sense. He was trying to bring the balance of the Force that he's been told his entire life was his destiny. And then the execution was trash. But but he's still like, in terms of story, I'd buy that story 9 times out of 10. That's incredible. It's incredible story writing. It just went
Incredible
way
story
out of
doesn't make an
control.
incredible movie. That's the
No,
problem.
and that's also very true. An incredible story does not an incredible movie make. A movie is the culmination of all the technical side of things, all the story side of things, like getting the right casting. A movie can be made or broken by the casting,
sure, like Hayden Christensen did
Completely.
a terrible job.
which
But
sucks because he's not a bad actor. He's not like
he's not a great actor.
I mean, he's not.
I liked him in Jumper.
He's not Sidney Poitier or anything, but
I
I mean,
know that is. I'm sure they're great.
So he's definitely not
Sydney's
that
a
person.
legend. Check him out. Absolutely.
but the
He was in the movie adaptation of Raisin in the Sun, way back in black and white. Incredible film.
Yeah.
Black actor, amazing. But yeah, like his motivations, I've really enjoyed. It's just motivations like as much as I enjoy like let's go back to Marvel, the Doctor Strange movie. Dormammu was like, I am evil. I'm going to eat the world.
yeah, not a great bad guy. Great movie though.
Yeah, great movie, but not a great bad guy. Who was it? Whiplash actually in Iron Man 2 made a little more sense. He was like he was just trying to prove that Tony is not this all-knowing, unbeatable god.
Sure. But Iron Man 2 just wasn't that great of a movie. It was.
I didn't enjoy it as much.
No, I mean Iron Man 1 was.
I remember
Iron Man 1 blew my
made
and I
almost a
remember
perfect movie.
Iron Man
So
3,
good.
but I don't remember Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 was with Mickey Rourke, and he was playing the character who had the electrical arcing whips. And he
Sounds familiar.
he disrupted. I think Tony Stark was in the middle of a Formula
Yeah,
One
we all
race.
like Ewan. Don't worry.
Oh, dude, Ewan McGregor,
Right.
beautiful man, but great actor. But yeah, Whiplash was Mickey Rourke, and he was like whipping Tony Stark, and Tony Stark had to pull out the briefcase Iron Man suit.
Well, that was cool.
That was pretty sick because he didn't have the nanotech suit yet, or the symbiotic suit that he has in the comics yet. Which I'm not sure if he's ever going to have the symbiotic suit in the movies. That might. I don't know. They are bringing Venom, but they're bringing Venom in Sony. It's not.
The Venom trailer looks so good.
Dude. Oh, it looks
But
so
I
good.
don't
Venom
really,
is
I don't know
Sony,
if
not
I
Marvel?
want to see Venom without Spider-Man. That's my thing.
Yeah, that's. But see, it's also Tom Hardy, which Tom Hardy he does kind of sometimes fall into like the.
But he's usually
Prompt.
pretty good.
He is. Did you ever watch his show? Oh shoot, what's it called? It was on FX.
The Tom Hardy Show?
It was, no, it was just like semi-period piece with some slight mystic kind of background to
I
it.
definitely did not.
Oh, dude, it's so taboo. Taboo is what it's called.
Never even heard of it.
Cool show. Cool show. You should check it out at some point. It almost didn't get renewed, but it finally, I think a month ago, got renewed for a second season. So it's very interesting. Tom Hardy plays like this extremely dark, foreboding character. I wouldn't say like Walter White-esque, but in the same kind of anti-hero sort of vein, where Walter White is just a bad guy, and you're only rooting for him because it's from his story
And
perspective.
he's not. I don't know. He's not.
In the first seasons, he wasn't a bad guy, but by the time
He got
like,
real bad.
by the time the last two seasons,
There's a little bit of redemption.
at the very end, he saves Jesse, but he's still a dick.
Yeah, he was an asshole.
I was told by somebody else, and this is before I watched Game of Thrones, but I was told by somebody that George R.R. Martin said that he prides himself on trying to create really great villains and create the best villains, but the Walter White was more evil than anyone he had ever created.
Not true.
There's not true.
Not
at
true.
all.
Especially if you read the books of Game of Thrones.
Which I have.
What I said was, I was told
Right, fair.
that
fair.
he said
Sure.
that was true.
Wait, that.
So
wait,
if it's
so
wrong,
he-
fuck my friend Cameron.
Hold on, wait.
not.
that George R.R. Martin said he couldn't create anyone.
But he heard that quote second.
Or that he had
so
Yeah,
Could've
now
not
I'm
been
gonna
true.
have to Google it. So
Yeah,
maybe it's not true.
I'd Google that. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm saying.
Well, apparently no Game of Thrones spoilers. Someone's in the middle of it.
Oh.
Lights in the sky. Apparently is in the middle of it.
Hey, Jesse, turn the stream off. No, he is right. So I won't go into show spoilers here. But I will say this. So Tyrion in the show is kind of this beloved character. I'm sorry. He really is in the show. He's a great character. In the books, he's a little more monstrous at times.
But he's still a great character in the books too.
He is, but remember
He's not as lovable.
No, but he chopped up that dude and fed him to Fleet Bottom.
Yeah, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Fair.
But
I mean, it's King's Landing after all.
yeah, they don't give a fuck. It's mean
But
as
no,
meat.
it's so hard. It's almost
But here's what I love
impossible.
about the books, though. This is what the books did. The show could not do. Was every chapter of the book was perspective of a different character.
Yep.
In that person's chapter, I felt like they were totally justified in their actions.
Every single
You're
one
like,
just
oh,
about.
I understand why you're doing what you're doing, and I may not agree, but you're totally. That's like, it's almost justified.
Also, the Red
Except
Wedding.
for Joffrey, fuck that guy.
Well, we
He
never got a Joffrey perspective chapter, anyways.
Was there? I don't even remember.
No,
I just
there
don't
wasn't.
remember ever feeling any
There was never a
sympathy.
Joffrey, and there was never a Rob. I really wanted a Rob perspective.
There was
chapter.
never a Rob.
There was never a Rob.
It's been. I
It was always Catelyn perspective chapters.
read the.
I'm clearing my throat.
I know. I'm just ignoring you.
That's fine, but I need to say this. Apparently, says this article,
Yo, both 6, 7, 8.
Variety.com reports that
Totally valid
that
news source.
George R. It really is. It's been a news source for forever. George R. Martin watched Breaking Bad's Ozymandias episode.
What was that?
And he said, quote, amazing episode last night. Talk about a gut punch.
Yep.
Walter White is a bigger monster than anyone in Westeros. I need to do something about that.
He may say that, but I think I might disagree with him.
I don't remember
because
that.
he created
specific
Cersei
one.
Lannister. So I'll be.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah, she was kind of a nightmare. Is kind of a nightmare. Or was. You don't know. No spoilers.
Will be.
Hey, Yopo6678, thanks for coming to hang out. Yopo? Yupu? Yopo?
You'll have to tell the correct pronunciation of your name in the chat. Phonetically.
But, man, I don't know how many beers we have left over there. We've
Not
gone through
many.
quite a few.
We've really gone through quite a few. We started hanging out and drinking at 5:30 and then didn't end up streaming till
Till 7:30.
7:30.
7:30, yeah.
Simply because
Welcome
the
back,
internet
Floppy. How
took
was your
a
cake?
giant poop and we had to tear down our set and reset it up in a different room. This is
It's actually a decent set. Like,
it's working out all right. This is
I like the table idea better. I like the taller middle table.
yeah, our normal setup is infinitely better, but I do like that the Ferris Bueller Days Off posters
I
are.
like that it's
That's
hot
fun.
as fuck in here.
It's true.
I mean, it's hot in there
Well,
too. but
it's always hot. It's just the
The
light.
light's so
The light is
close.
very, very bright. So, anyway, this is the lounge of my studio, and connected to our right is the kitchen. And anyway, we just have nothing to say without.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Ben
Homemade
here.
ice cream golden Oreo cake. So Floppy just had for
If
his birthday.
Nick is watching the chat still, Nick, if you could give maybe a 1 to 3 sentence rebuke or
your retort
of Ben, your retort, just your defense of, are you Wack? What would you say in response here?
Vinegars? That's nasty.
This is a very one-sided conversation where only Ben is getting to give his opinion on Nick, and we'd really probably
That's
like
true.
to know what Nick thinks.
Nick should get a chance to defend himself.
What does Nick think of Ben? What does Nick think of Nick? They're both good.
I think Nick probably knows Nick is whack, but
I actually love Nick.
Holy shit, that's some real backpedaling.
I love Nick
This
dearly.
far into the podcast.
You're allowed to love someone who is also whack.
that's true. It's true.
I'm not rebuking. I'm not, retracting my whack statement.
That's really weird, Floppy.
No, I don't know. I don't know why that started. I got bored one day and commented whack, and I was like, "Oh, this is funny. I'm gonna do it a million times and run it into the freaking ground."
As we are doing now.
And I got the funny thing was I was in the middle of a Notion of Silence tour, which is the metal band that my buddy Austin is in. I'm Row 4 and I'm kind of in.
You're in all the bands.
Yeah, but it's all of Lines plus Austin basically, and I got all of them to start commenting whack on Nick's stuff as well. And so now it's just out of control. I found different clever ways to slip whack into comments and stuff like that. Not clever, just dick ways. But
Now the very important question.
Are you gonna ask the question? You've never asked the question.
Do you feel so proud like I've grown up?
Now this is a very important question.
okay,
If you...
Now there's rules.
there's so much
I know how
preamble
to,
to this.
I know how to ask, by the way. So,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
give me
go
some
ahead.
credit.
Yeah. Okay.
but you can give him the rules. That's fine.
Okay. The rules. Number 1, you're not allowed to think about the answer.
Not at all.
It's a gut feeling. It's something so deep down in your soul that you would know.
Okay.
And if you don't have an answer, it might be as whack as Nick. because everyone knows deep down what their answer is.
Okay.
You can't think. Gut reaction, we don't need an explanation. Though, I mean, now a little bit of explanation might be warranted depending on your answer, but generally we don't need one. We just need the answer.
Okay.
I like hearing the explanation personally.
I think the other six kind of ruins it a little bit.
Okay.
We
Depends
asked
how good
everyone
the
this
answer
question. This is the question of the podcast.
Except Ryan Steele, because we
We
forgot.
forgot. That was the first
I mean,
episode.
that was episode 1.
Yeah,
so,
that was
yeah.
But every other episode. Okay, so if you had to choose, and you do, what would you say your favorite turtle is?
Leonardo.
Oh, so that's okay. That's okay. Now, you asked it a little bit wrong, to be fair. But
What did I say?
is it what's your favorite kind of turtle? But I like how you went with it. You good. You had an answer. I can accept that.
Yeah, I can accept Leonardo. It's a little hard for me.
Because Donatello's of the
Correct.
turtles.
I mean,
But
Donatello is like...
We're
like,
Donatello people here.
Yeah, Donatello's awesome. Donatello was definitely like... You told me not to think. So I
Yeah.
had to
You want to go,
with-
and that's
Linda?
okay. We know that's what you believe deep down. And that's
Yeah,
really what
yeah,
matters.
deep
No
down.
matter what the
But-
fuck you say about Donatello now, we'll know it's Leonardo.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Donatello, if we're going, like, Leonardo was, like, 99% my favorite, Donatello would be the second one at, like, 98.9%. Because Donatello's the nerd. Donatello's the guy that I can connect to, right? Donatello he's the techie guy. He's the one who kind of gets forgotten. He's the one whose weapon's not as cool. He's got the quarterstaff rather than the sai and the long sword or the katana, stuff like that.
In my mind, the
But-
bow staff is infinitely cooler than sais. Sais are hard to say. They look stupid, and Raphael's
Words are
a dick.
hard.
But for me, like, the reason I say Leonardo is just
That's
because
right,
Leonardo
Sauron.
is like this. He's always trying to do 100% what is morally the good thing. That is always his, like, motivating, pushing factor. From what I know, my Ninja Turtles, like, repertoire is way lower than, like, my Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or something like that. But, you know, I thoroughly, like, whenever I played, like, the game at Toys R Us,
Yeah.
it was either always Leonardo or Donatello. Because you got, which one's a red one? Raphael.
No one even likes Raphael.
But see, Raphael, yeah. But
Apparently
Raphael, in terms of a
unmentionable.
character, would be the most interesting because he, in some terms of the comics, becomes Shredder. So he's like kind of like the angsty
Right.
one.
That's like some weird fucking comic shit. That's not real.
Fair. But, and then you got Michelangelo, who's a moron. He's
He's the cool
first of all,
dude.
he's a cool surfer
He's
dude.
definitely my
He's
second
cool,
favorite.
But he's the one who wants to get stoned out of his mind and eats pizza.
Yeah.
Which, on one
Yeah,
hand,
he's a cool
I
guy.
agree.
he's always, and nunchucks are cool. He's like, dude, surf's up, bruh. It's time to eat some pizza.
But
And everyone
Leonardo
else
was
just
like,
be like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that instead.
Yeah.
Leonardo's like,
Shredder
we're gonna
take
get
over the
this
world.
done now.
Yeah.
If
I
we're
just,
gonna
I
go-
just, he's a little uptight for me. But, wait.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's a little tight. He's a little
Raphael
pushy.
is definite bottom tier.
Yeah, everyone agrees. Raphael's
Raphael
bullshit.
bottom tier. Then I have to go Michelangelo because he's at least fun. I take him to a party and get.
So-
I
what?
drink water with him. And then
Sauron is back.
Zara.
This is his name. Sauron is back.
Sauron.
Now Sauron is back comes in my chat like once a month,
Oh,
just to
okay.
say what's up. And because I'm a hat guy, he likes people who are hat guys.
Gotcha.
He
like-
says Donatello is a kind of a jock.
Donatello.
Donatello's
I don't remember
more
Donatello
of a nerd
being a
than a
jock.
jock.
I think Leonardo's the jock.
I was to say I think
Leonardo's
Leonardo or
the
Raphael
jock. Yeah,
would be
he's
the
like
jocks.
the maybe Raphael. Well, nobody's a fuck
Now,
with
to
Raphael.
be
He's like a
honest,
loser.
the last time I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was
morning.
when I was 6. So I don't know that
Yeah,
I remember correctly.
I never saw the Michael Bay remake.
Listen,
I remember.
oh, hell
no.
I remember the live
we
action
don't-
Power Rangers crossover. Do you guys remember that back
Which-
in the day? Yeah. Teenage Mutant
don't
Ninja
remember
Turtles
that.
ended up on an episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
What?
Yeah, and they fought together. It was dope.
Damn.
I'm all about that Power Ranger life,
Now
son.
hold on. You might be the right
was a
kind
fan
of person
at
in
the
your
time.
crossover interests
Okay.
to have watched and be a fan of Supernatural.
Okay. I've watched certain episodes of that, but for some reason, I don't know why, can't get into it.
I can tell you why, because you watch certain episodes of that, and it's a cohesive story you need to watch from beginning to end.
I guess that's
But
fair.
here's the thing, let me tell you.
Also, yeah.
Season 1's bad. I'm just going
Oh,
to throw it out
really?
there right now. Season 1 sucks.
It's like Parks and Rec. You have to muscle through season 1 to get the good stuff.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But because they try to come out with the show as like a horror show. It's not that
Okay.
at all. And the fact that when you rewatch it, like if you go back and rewatch some episodes, I'm getting him through it right now. We're on season 12.
Oh, nice.
It's been a minute.
I've been watching it since Halloween.
Yeah.
you're like, this is not even the same show. But you can like look up online episodes you can skip in season 1.
Okay.
Just to get through it faster. You just get the story episodes. And then in like season 2 was like almost there. Season 3 really starts to get amazing. And 4 and 5, amazing.
Got it,
It's amazing
gotcha.
throughout. It's the right show for you.
I've heard that, so I guess I really do need to give that a shot.
You
It's the
can
right
really
show.
appreciate. I enjoyed season 1 when it happened.
For the horror, now you are a horror fan, so you might like those.
I do.
the kind of what in my opinion is like dumb aspects of it.
I
don't
love
like dumb
everything from like top grade Hereditary level, Exorcist level horror to like B grade schlock.
There's a lot of B grade.
Okay, see, I might enjoy
Might
it
be
for the
s-
slockiness of it.
It might be
So.
C grade.
It's a little rough.
It's some low
But it's
tier.
fun, and I think you really need it for the story element. And
Okay.
the thing that we did though that was great was Jury had a list of the skippable episodes that are not important to the story and are just not that good, and we skipped all of those. So I think out of 22 episodes, we probably only watched 9 of season 1.
Oh, so it's a lot. There's a lot of filler.
Yeah, it started out as a monster.
It's like
it's Monster of the Week
DBZ
type
level, DBZ level filler.
show. That's every episode. There's never been a story episode in that show.
But
There's
over
one
time,
when Frieza dies, then the next one when
I haven't
Cell
watched that
dies.
in like 20 years.
I like recently in the past 4 years like rewatched all the way through Cell Saga. That's like the only level of weebness that I have.
of whatness?
Weeb.
Weeb.
Weeb. That's yeah. But yeah, I guess I really do need to check that out because I've heard
You really do.
a lot of people.
You
say
gotta
that.
muscle through it.
Yeah, I
Because
can do
when you
that.
get to the right point, you'll know when you've gotten there, you won't be able to stop.
Okay,
And it's
gotcha.
amazing. Now, there are some seasons that are better and some that are worse.
Well, like any
The
show.
best are 4 and 5. 3 is pretty damn solid too, which is weird because 3 was during the writer's strike. If you remember, that was
Wow.
That's how long ago this
That's
was.
way back.
And they're on season 13 right now. You know,
That's like what? 08? 09? Maybe?
yeah, something like that. Because
Something
the
like
show
that?
came out in 05, so season 3 would be at about 08.
Okay. Jeez. Sometimes it happens.
I would like to report that I no longer
Lines
know
in the
what we're
Sky is
talking
signing
about.
off for the evening. Thanks for
Bye,
coming and hang
Lines in the
out.
Sky.
You're not allowed to sign
He
off.
said Ben is whack, which we all know that was Nick.
That was Nick.
This format needs to happen more. Sauron, we do this every Friday night. I know you only show up about once a month. We love you for it. But yeah, every Friday night we do this with a local musician or other person in the entertainment industry. So far, only musicians in Nashville and one bass player.
That is true. I slap bass.
Slapping the bass.
The amount of times, even in like Lyft rides or something like that, I'll like pull out. I'll say, "Oh, I play bass," and they go, "Slap the bass, man!" It like overtook Seinfeld overnight.
That's a great movie.
That's the
though.
power of Paul
It
Rudd.
is.
It's a great movie.
Dude, Paul Rudd's a vampire. The dude hasn't aged. You watch old episodes of Friends, he looks exactly the same as he does in
He
Ant-Man.
does. I forgot he was even in Friends. So you mentioned. I was like, oh yeah, fuck, he was in Friends.
Yep. Yeah, he's a vampire. He and Pharrell are part of the Illuminati Vampire Legion.
And Tom Cruise and Nicolas Cage.
Oh damn, that's a good title. We're gonna call this Nick as Wack, I think, but the what was it? The Illuminati Vampire
Legion.
Legion. Yeah, it's very strong. It should at least got to go in the description.
I'm just sending
The
out
show
these
notes.
zingers, bro.
Throwing them out there.
We're almost approaching the latest we've ever done this.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, now, granted, it's not the longest because we did start late.
True.
The longest was actually last week at a little over 5 hours.
Right, yeah. Oh, you mean like the latest that's gone?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
We're about 4 hours though.
There's no.
Slightly under. We're at like 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's how delightful we are.
what did Floppy Don say? Last week was the longest, yeah.
Last week was
Yes.
insane.
We're almost at 4
Yeah,
hours.
I'm curious,
It does not
Floppy.
feel that way.
Floppy, can you report what was it like watching last week? I've never watched
For
this
5
show.
hours straight.
I do
I've
listen.
only lived it.
I don't watch. I live it. I don't watch our show, but I do listen to the podcast. The thing is I typically don't finish them.
Because they're so long.
I finished the first 2, but like I just don't drive enough, man, to finish them. So I listened to Jake's episode 3. like every time I got in my car until the new one was released, and then I switched to that. So I heard like
Unlimited
hour
content.
Jake's, I'm switching now. I'm on Alex's, and so I'm reliving it.
Here's Floppy's review officially.
Yeah.
Fuck me, it was crazy.
Last week was the whole bottle podcast.
Yeah, that was the time.
Yeah, that was one.
We did the whole bottle of scotch. Now, to be fair, every time
Scotch,
we finished
scotch,
the whole
scotch.
bottle.
Fair.
But that was
True.
a whole bottle plus like half a 6-pack of beer. And also, he was a real little guy. And so, it didn't take him long to get
at the
a
end-
little slosh.
At the end of the episode, he's just like, I don't know if I can drive home. Not at the end. Like
That's the
when
weirdest
we were
impression of it.
we were getting to the place of I don't know. He's from Indiana. I don't know how to.
Liz
do
says that was the
accent.
hardest she laughed was last week. It went way
We just-
off the chain.
I think like 4 hours. At about 4 hours, we were like probably gonna wrap it up, but he wasn't ready to drive.
And so we're like, let's just keep
So,
rolling.
so we went for another hour to give him time to sober up, and then we all hung out afterwards
Gotcha.
until
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was safe to and responsible to drive.
You know, like we just sat here to make sure like we were all good. Like
Yeah.
for a few minutes. Yeah.
Everyone needs to get home safe.
Yeah.
It was super fun. He was a great guest. So
Thanks.
anyway,
To be fair, you're a great guest too. I'm just trying to put you
Appreciate it.
down.
We also ran into every single instance
Oh
of
my
Murphy's
god!
Law on God's green earth.
We've not had this many technical difficulties, but
We
we
made
did
it
it.
happen.
We did the thing.
Made it
we
happen.
did it.
We did it.
Yay! Let us gingerly touch tips.
Well, all right, hold on.
But we should. Yeah, Floppy says he was so smashed last week. Alex. Yeah.
So
You
I
underage
think-
smashed floppy?
Oh my god.
I
No,
think-
not him. Our guest.
So we're gonna
okay.
put on one more Lines in the Sky song when we sign off.
Yes, that's
But
how we
before
do.
we do, what's everybody's internet thing so you can find out if you want to find out more about your
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
You're in
Your
so many
stuff-
bands, you're gonna have to list them all.
I was about to say it's going to be a little while. So my main project, my project, is Lines in the Sky. If you just search Lines in the Sky in on YouTube, you're going to want to go Lines in the Sky Band. Otherwise, you're going to get some chemtrail shit, which I do not endorse. I am not Alex Jones.
Turn to the frogs, gang!
Turn the freaking frogs, gay! No, I'm nuts, but I ain't that nuts. So Lines in the Sky Band on YouTube. Search us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think maybe Google Plus. I haven't
Google
checked
Play?
that. No, Google. Well, there's also Google Plus, but it's social media. Yeah, I
And-
know.
No
Right?
one
See?
does
Yeah.
Google
But we're on
Plus.
Google Play. We're
And
on
Google Docs, Google
we're-
Forms, Gmail.
We're on Amazon, on Spotify, all of it. Especially check out Spotify. We're actually about to hit 25,000 streams on our album total.
Noise.
Which is really nice. I'm very
Damn.
happy about that. Independent release, done that ourselves, no playlist. And then from there, you can also check out Morgan Bosman. She's also on Spotify. I want to say Google Play, Amazon.
How do you spell Morgan Bosman?
So Morgan, just standard Morgan Bosman, Bosman. You may have to specify Morgan Bosman music because there's also a model. The model is white. My Morgan is black. Big difference. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her Run Run remix under Cazzette, Cazzette, I believe. All standard social media platforms. She's really incredible. Ian Munsick, also standard. Munsick is Munsick. So you can find him on any of it. He also recently broke 1 million streams on his track Horses Are Faster, which is a standard in the live set. And then Wrestle with Jimmy, which you might have to type Wrestle with Jimmy Nashville because there's also a Weezer cover band of that same name. But yeah, we're just on Facebook and Instagram as of right now. We do have a YouTube channel, but we use that more for our promo video. And then from there, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other social media. Oh yeah, you can find Lines in the Sky on Twitch. I think it's the Lines in the Sky Music. Is that what it said?
The lines in the. I think it was just the lines in the sky.
Okay, the Lines in the Sky. We're on Twitch. We stream. We do dope shit.
Some old TF2 action.
Little TF2. We're gonna talk a lot of shit. We're gonna rag on each other. Play some Fractured Space, and I'm gonna call my bandmates dorks and losers because they are dorks and losers. Probably smack talk Nick Mills, call him Wack.
Which is our favorite thing.
So I think that's all the social media. That's a lot.
You got a lot of social medias, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a lot.
And
But yeah,
no, was that it?
I think that's it. Yeah, I'm
That's a
sorry.
lot. I'm not sure if that's all. I can't
I know,
tell.
it's impossible to
Parents,
I'm pretty
pets,
sure that's it. What?
best friends. Any more social medias to go over?
You can follow my dick at Mickey Avalon, my dick on Spotify. It's bigger than a bridge.
And I am at Ryan Poole Music and at Bird Rock Music. And jury is.
You can find Obadiah X and everything. Except for Twitter, it's Obadiah_X. But also, of course, you can find Music Girl Hideout on YouTube. Anywhere you find your podcasts. Obviously, you can find it here on this Twitch channel. Hit that follow button. Follow all the peoples. Check out all the things. Lines in the Sky is going on tour on Wednesday to all the places. If you're in one of those cities, you should definitely go check them out.
Go check out their website and look at all those tour dates. And
Yeah,
make
see
it-
if anyone work for you.
We've got so many. The Toronto one is canceled, but besides that, all the
Sure,
rest are
yeah.
still-
Well, fuck Canada. Except for you, Floppy, you're cool. You're all right.
Canada has that legal marijuana. Which
Not
I can't do.
not till October or November.
Oh, really?
It
They
passed
legalized it in the whole country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is the thing that countries do when they pass laws normally.
Not our country.
Yeah.
Our country
Canada
has
still
50
provincial
different
laws,
tries.
doesn't it?
Huh?
Doesn't Canada still have provincial laws in the province?
I'm sure they do, but they're
Oh.
fucking weird, man. Canada's weird as shit.
So
November 14th, Floppy says.
Gotcha. Nice, Floppy.
He's waiting.
But I'd say, of course,
He's
Floppy.
ready.
Was it Floppy Dongus?
Floppy dongus.
Of course, Floppy Dongus is gonna know when weed is legalized in Canada. So for the last song, I sent you guys 3, but I'm gonna let you pick your.
I have Spotify up.
Okay, I'm gonna let
So-
you take your pick. We have our. I'd say our poppiest tune, but poppy for prog is still a subjective term.
Sure.
That's our most accessible tune. I'll say that. It
Okay.
doesn't have any like crazy meter changes or anything. It stays pretty tonal. We have the tune that I actually brought into Lines in the Sky that changes keys every 2 bars, roughly, for a little while. That was a lot of fun. It's about, I don't know. And then we also have our ballad, which is called Library.
It's about, I don't know.
I have no idea what
Well, which is your
tune this is
favorite?
about. Of those 3, Library is my favorite, which is our ballad, but it's also almost 7 minutes long.
We can let what doesn't matter up.
Okay.
We've been here 4 hours.
Let's do it. Library is my favorite
All right.
song on the record, but I'm also a sucker for ballads.
We're gonna play Library. Make sure to check everybody out on all the things we just listed. I would say let's do them again, but it was like an hour and a half of listening to social media.
I know, right? Jeez.
Lines in the Sky.
You.
Lines in the Sky on all the things.
Lines in the Sky, Morgan Mosman, Ian Music, Wrestle with Jimmy, and my dick at Spotify.
And maybe one day we'll get one of the musicians from Lines in the Sky in here.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Also, thank you guys so much for having me out. This has been
Oh, yeah.
a lot of fun. I really appreciate
Better
it.
than you thought, I bet.
A lot of fun. Yeah, man. This was awesome.
When your Lyft passenger invites you to be on a podcast,
I was a little like,
you're like, I might be raped.
Oh, I have to say,
never
I have
know.
to say before we go, when I text you to be like, "Hey, you're still down to do this?" Then you were like, "My manager was supposed to reach out to you." She did.
oh, she did. Okay, cool.
I didn't know that she did because she sent me a Facebook message, which got filtered in like the weird folder on Facebook.
That's what it
I
was.
saw it
okay.
like 2 days ago, and I was like,
Gotcha,
"Oh
yeah, yeah.
shit, that's what that is." So don't fire her yet.
Oh, never in a million years. Jane is irreplaceable.
But yeah, so she did. I just didn't know. I had
Okay.
no way of knowing.
Totally cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming to hang out, and until next time, we will